What a tough Monday morning that is.
Yeah, so you just try to make their heads hurt. You're giving them all headaches.
Make their eyes bleed.
I couldn't handle that on a Monday morning. No.
Oh, dude, that movie's awesome. But I tell them, look, I hated it when I first saw it, but they have a friendly, helpful guide going to walk them through it. I start out by explaining who's who, so they don't have to keep track of the people. You're welcome, kids.
Right, are we ready then now?
I'm ready now. You ready now, Chinny?
I'm ready now.
Yes.
Don't forget the thumbs up when the end of the intro is, because
you still can't hear music, but you can hear all the other
show,
You can't hear any of this music right here. This funky jam.
I thought you fixed it.
Welcome yo to the Veteran Gamers.
Sort of, but he still can't hear music. Who knows? We're going to give him a thumbs up when the music's over. News, reviews, and indie pick. Come on. Yeah.
Here comes Duke with the soundbite savior.
Batman's a scientist.
It's not Batman.
Batman's a scientist.
It's not Batman.
It's not Batman.
It's the Veteran Gamers.
Egghead like this bookie book.
Yeah, boy.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
I don't want no part of your tight-ass country club, you freak, bitch!
Hello and welcome to episode 802 of the Veteran Gamers podcast. Just a minute before we... Wait a minute. The whole point of that was so the listeners didn't know there was an issue, and then you're like...
Why does it matter?
Issue? Oh, God, I tell you.
The show must go on.
Anyway,
I think anybody expecting seamless from this show is always going to be sorely disappointed. Ain't no seamless nothing. Yeah. Anyway, hi everybody. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
Chinny.
And Zoom sucks, can we just say?
Zoom is fine. Zoom's a wonderful product that we don't pay too much money for. The internet is an amazing product of our collective tax dollars. And we love video games, and we're glad you're listening, everybody. Hey, everyone. This is the Veteran Gamers Podcast. We are not military veterans. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
Yep.
That is correct.
I have nothing else.
And I've been gone, but now I'm back.
Oh,
yeah. Hallelujah.
So, where have you been?
We went to Pennsylvania to watch our niece graduate from college. Yay! It was 12 hours of driving out there on Thursday and 12 hours driving back on Sunday. And then I had to jump right back into teaching on Monday.
Wow.
It was a rough week.
I'll bet it was. Do you know what's quite interesting? We've just been booking our holiday and we've decided to do a bit of a road trip. So rather than just stay in one place, we're stopping in 3 different places in the UK.
Okay. Which 3? Number 1.
Number 1, we're stopping near Shrewsbury.
Do you want some from Shrewsbury?
That's too close to me.
That is very close to
Too
you.
close
Very
to
close
me.
to you.
Very close to
Then
me.
we're travelling down to the Cotswolds.
That's pretty close to me.
It's pretty close, and we're also
That's where Carl Pilkington took his special lady
It's
friend.
also where the
And number 3?
Clarkson Farm
And we're also going to
Stu?
go.
You're going to go to the Clarkson Farm?
Is that where that is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. And we're going to spend the day in Bath probably because we quite like Bath.
Again, well, it's not that close to me. Bath, but...
Not that close.
Sounds
And
like a
then
lovely
we're going
trip.
to
I hope you have
travel
a good
up.
time.
This is getting closer to Chinny now. We're going to travel up to Stratford upon Avon.
Oh, that's again.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
close.
Willy,
That's like-
Willy,
When are you
Big
going
Willy.
to when you going to Stratford? Because we always go to Stratford.
We're going to go to Stratford. It will be a Friday. Probably a Friday. When we're going to-
Some Friday, random Friday.
Wait a minute.
I remember. I have a book
I'll
to
tell you. Hold up. 27th. Friday the 27th of June.
June. All right.
Yeah.
Let me have a look. Let me have a
Friday
look.
the 27th of June.
Okay.
So one of the
We're
best
looking
things
at
we
this
did was we
guy,
went to some bookstores. We also saw our niece graduate from college. Who cares? They had like 1,000 names and they had to go through all of them. So boring. It was over an hour long. That was just that part of it. The rest of the ceremony was another hour. Anyway, we went to a bookstore and they had a bargain shelf and most of the books were $1. And I found one book that had a very strange price tag. It was $0.00. And I was like, is this price tag correct? And the lady looked at it and she was like, yes, I'll pay you to take it. This is the book.
And you bought it? Oh my God! Is that
I took
seriously
it for
true?
free. This is true. It's a book,
Oh
for
my
those who
God.
can't see it. It's a book by Donald Trump Jr. called Liberal Privilege.
Wow.
Joe Biden and the Democrats' defense of the
can't-
indefensible.
I can't believe you've got that in your house.
That's because I have a shelf back there of unintentionally hilarious books. There's one called Gays in the Military, which is all about how civilization's going to collapse if we let gay people into the military. I've got one called The Force of Star Wars, which is all about how Jesus is the real force.
You're a funny
I got so
person,
many. I got one called The Facts That the Historians Leave Out, which is like a Confederate primer, which is all about like why the Confederate States of America were good. It's a crazy shelf. So now Donald Trump Jr. is on that shelf.
Wow.
It's nice.
It's kind of impressive, that.
I found a lot of
Donald
other
Trump
good
Jr.
books too, though. So yeah.
Well, I've had a
That's
week.
kind of
I've had
funny.
a weekend.
Oh,
Have you?
Chinny had a
What have you
weekend
been-
too.
what
We
have you
all
been
had a
up to?
weekend.
I'll tell you
What'd you
what.
do, Chinny?
Um,
Tell me what.
What?
well, we.
Oh, I know what you did.
Do you?
I do. I saw the pictures.
So
Oh, I haven't
listen,
seen the pictures. What did you do?
Ah, you haven't seen the pictures.
listener
I haven't
of
seen the pictures.
listener of the podcast,
Yeah.
messaged me, and this is a
Right.
listener that has met Duke in person
We have
All
met
right, okay.
several. I think
several
twice.
times. Twice, yeah, he
Yeah.
said twice.
That's right.
He's from America, and he says,
From
"Hey, Chinny,
America.
we're coming to London. Him and his good wife.
Yeah.
You live near there, don't you?" I didn't have
Not
the heart to
really.
tell him.
Not really.
Let's pretend like I'm cosmopolitan and
Kinda,
London-based.
kinda.
In American terms, yes, I do live near there.
You know that rat trash dumpster near London? That's right.
Yeah.
Can
Sorry,
we just
I don't wanna
say?
go too hard
can
on
we just say
Wolverhampton.
Duke drove for 12 hours
Yeah.
to get to where he had to
Yeah,
go?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
London's
That's
not that
family.
far for you,
to be
really.
fair, that was family. Yeah.
I know, but
Anyway.
British people get upset if we have to drive more than an hour, don't we? Really?
Yeah, that's
well, you
true.
got a decent rail system, so you should get upset.
Well, we use the rail, so we wanted an excuse to go
There
to
you
London
go.
to take
Decent
Rosa.
rail system. Are you
Yes.
joking? It's terrible.
Dude, yeah, I want to hear your shit. You should fucking try to ride the rails in the U.S.
We
I don't wanna
wanted
hear
to
it.
find
Go
an
ahead, Chinny.
excuse to go to London to take Rosa
Yes.
to London so she could see it and stuff. And
Yes.
Sean Anderson said,
Yeah.
we're going to London." So we met Sean. Oh, yeah. We met Sean in London.
Yay.
Now, London being London, Stu,
Yeah.
I didn't know that there would be thousands of people protesting against Israel.
No, I didn't know.
I
that
also
either.
didn't
Did that
know-
happen?
I also
Yay.
didn't know that there would be hundreds, maybe thousands of Crystal Palace fans for the FA Cup final in London.
Yeah,
That is
Crystal
correct.
Palace.
Yeah, that was this weekend.
Much
as
of
well.
many of the same people. That Venn diagram is almost
Yeah,
a
yeah.
circle. Down with Israel! Hooray for Crystal Palace!
So that being said, and I also
And they
bumped-
won, by the way.
yeah, they won 1-0. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Israel
also
Oh, you mean
bumped
Crystal
into Linda Robson from Birds of a Feather fame.
Get
When
out
we
of
was in-
town.
I would say
How
bumped
did
into.
that even happen?
She walked past us, and I
Almost
was,
as exciting.
and Tara said, "That's Linda Robson from Birds of a Feather," and I was like, "Wow, it is." Anyway,
Look, Rosa, your first celebrity encounter.
yeah, we met Sean and his good wife Myra at Leicester Square, which
Yay.
is not far from Covent Garden. I said, "Let's go to Covent
That
Garden."
always makes me think of Phone Jacker. Leicester Square!
And we walked over there and we talked and we went into a proper British pub, which was a Green King pub.
Nice.
And
Oh,
my
Green
review
King.
of London, now that I'm a father, by the way, with a very young child, is awful place to take a child.
Awful place to take it.
What makes it
that
awful?
is.
Because
Awful.
it was a pleasure to meet Sean and his lovely wife Myra, very very lovely. And Rosa logged Myra and even let Myra pick her up, so that was fun.
Ooh, that's big.
That's a
That's
big deal.
Yeah.
Yes, so but in terms of like taking a child there, not many changing rooms for babies, right? We asked
Nope.
in the pub that we was in, we said, "Oh, is there a kids menu?" And before we finished the sentence, she said, "No."
Is there a no?
Is there
Anything
no-
you want to ask?
She said-
Is there a bathroom I can no?
Is there a baby change in this pub? And she says, "There's a bit of a counter above a toilet."
Did she not say?
Oh,
does
you
this
want one of
look-
those fancy changing rooms?
Does this look like a pub where you bring
Yeah.
toddlers?
So
Is that what she said?
Did you hear John Mulaney talk about when he was going to rehab and he did a bunch of cocaine off of one of the koala changing tables? And everyone's like, oh, he's like, what? That's what those are for. You think you're supposed to put a human baby on that rat trap device?
Exactly. But luckily, we had beautiful, beautiful weather.
Oh no, it's been
Yay.
amazing, hasn't it?
And I did say to
Meanwhile,
Sean,
we had golf ball size hail here recently. What the fuck?
I did say to
None of that.
Sean, this is unusual. This weather. This is not the way it is. But you know,
You see that blue stuff up there? We never see that.
an hour and a half on the train, all day in London, and an hour and a half back. And Rosa was pretty good. She was loving life, running round. We went to Buckingham Palace because I wanted to take to see Big Ben and take a picture with her there. But the protest went all the way from Leicester Square all the way down to, and it felt like a safe protest. To be fair, I didn't feel hostile. It felt very controlled, very safe. But it was a lot of people to walk a baby through. Do you know what I mean? So we thought,
Sure.
let's go to Buckingham Palace. And it was a lot quieter there.
If you had put a keffiyeh on her, you'd be like, all right, make way, people. Here comes Palestinian baby.
Yeah. So yeah, good. So it was great to meet Sean. Thank you so much, Sean, for letting me be a part of your
Yay.
vacay. And yeah, it was good.
Sean's
you
good
went.
people.
You went to like kind of a mini EGX with him, didn't you, Duke? Back in the day.
Yeah, well, it was the Midwest Gaming Classic, which is like old school games. There's nothing new in it. So, it's cool. They got all the classic arcade cabinets and, old systems that they hook up. We were able to play Space War, like the first video game ever, right? But it was not anything new or things that we couldn't play on our own or whatever. So it was cool. It was cool to see him. Seeing him was the best part of that day. I'm not a retro gamer, so if I had been like a proper retro gamer, I'd be.
You'd have
but
been
I saw,
like in your element.
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
big in shit,
like
as it's saying.
Exactly. I can play Rolling Thunder in the RoboCop coin-op game on my MAME emulator. There's really no need. I don't need a cabinet for those. You know what I mean? Like I'm not that type of guy who's like, I need to have a sit-down Centipede game. Like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
but he's a cool guy. I love talking to him, and he and I have pretty different perspectives. But that's cool. Whatever. Like we can geek out and talk about games. And
he mentioned that
appreciate each other as
yeah,
people.
He actually mentioned that. It's like how you and Duke are quite different people in a way, in a lot of ways. But it was just good.
Oh God, that's a video of me.
Yeah, yeah. It's just interesting to sort of because I've spoke to Sean for a long time now, very long time, and I've known him and he's listened to me on this show and all this sort of stuff. So it's just nice, and it's kind of interesting how quick you get to know them even more when you're like right in person with them. You know what I mean? All of a sudden you know them way more. So it was great meeting Sean. It does make me miss the days where we all used to meet every year, Stu. It's probably something we should get back.
We do need to do that. I did think we should have tried to arrange some arcade club meetup or something this year.
We
but
could,
we never
we could
got
still
around to
do it.
it.
I mean, it doesn't have to be in April. We can do
Only
it
halfway
in-
through.
No, and we're on set rotas at work now, so I get every other weekend off, so I know exactly when I'm off.
Yeah, we
So
could
we
do
can
it.
arrange stuff way in advance.
We could-
How
which
about
is a lot.
everybody meets Stu at the Cotswolds?
Yeah,
No,
me Stu
you don't
at
go
the
to Cotswolds. There's just it's just sheep.
Just lots of
sheep.
thatched cottages and
Yeah, yeah.
quaint country pubs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's nice place, though.
No,
It's
I
nice.
think the best meets are in big cities. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
when we go
yeah,
to
yeah.
Birmingham or London, we haven't really done one in Manchester or anything, but like just big city because there's loads to do and there's loads of things to see and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, this was me using a VR headset for the first time, I think.
Yeah, this was in 2014, dude.
That's crazy.
Jesus
2014?
Christ, that's
More than
11
10 years ago. That's bonkers.
Yeah. And this video has got a
about that?
whopping 333 views.
Jesus
Wow,
Christ, I would have
that's
thought it had
impressive.
20. That is impressive.
If anybody wants
It's
to see
impressive.
the video where Sean made with Duke, it's called
Yeah, that's great.
Midwest Gaming Classic 2014 on our YouTube channel. And what was funny was Sean said to me, because at the end of the video you
But Sean's a
pretend
filmmaker too. Like he loves
Yeah.
to make videos and take pictures and stuff.
he pretended that you got chucked out, didn't you? Like at the end of the video,
Yeah.
you sort of pretended
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like you got chucked
Yeah,
out.
that was great.
And it's funny because the venue like emailed him or something saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry
Yeah.
that they chucked you."
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Good stuff.
So thank you so much, Sean and Mara, who
Thank
was
you, Sean.
lovely, brilliant, enjoyed it. And
Yay.
then today we
Anybody
did
else?
we did our race for life. So my brother-in-law's partner had breast cancer a few years ago, and we've been doing race for life ever since. And this was the
Cool.
first time that Rosa actually walked a bit of it this year.
Nice.
There you
So-
go.
Rosa has done it. We've done it for 3 years, and Rona's done it every year. But every year she's had an
Awesome.
excuse not to do it because she was in Mommy's tummy the
Because
first
she couldn't
year.
walk or
She was in.
stuff,
She,
you know.
she was in Mommy's
Well,
tummy
so
the
she
first
says.
year. Second
Yeah.
year she couldn't walk. I mean, that's just
Always
poor.
got an excuse.
And then
I think that's
but,
feeble.
but this
feeble.
this year she did
Yeah,
a
it
little
is.
bit of walking, but she was like,
Finally.
when she doesn't like something, she doesn't say I don't like it. She says like it. She goes like it, like it. So
It's good that you know it's short for don't like it.
yeah, like it. So I had to pick her
Yeah.
up, and we ran over the line
Oh,
together.
all right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, anything else? Are we ready to start talking about games?
Yeah, let's talk some video games.
Where are you going? Story time's over.
What you been playing?
What you been playing? What you been playing?
The song is over, Stu. Talk.
Oh yeah.
I
Sorry,
know,
Stu.
Give you a
So-
thumbs
Yeah,
up.
sorry, Stu.
What have we been playing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so what-
Right.
Sung finished.
can
Yeah,
hear
I
you
should go
singing,
first,
but
I
not
think, 'cause I got the most.
fucking weird. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no, right.
better
Well,
have.
I've been gone for 2 weeks, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
yeah,
first because
you
I
go.
got a stack of games to talk
You
about.
got
First of all,
stack,
real quick,
stack.
Rocket League. I need to give a shout out to Antonio. He and I have hit this groove where it's like, hey man, like he's up when I come home from school and get done with my chores and stuff. And he sometimes has to be like, I gotta go for 3 minutes to take care of the baby dude. And I'll be
yeah.
like, fine, whatever, I'll hold him off. But I've learned some things from him recently about Rocket League, which are very important because I like to think, 5,000 hours, I know what I'm doing at Rocket League, which I do, but I can always learn, right? And I tend to be the type of person who's like, go for the ball, get there first, put the pressure on the enemy. And I do believe that's a good strategy. But Antonio is much more of a like, hang back, let them come to me. I'm going to be ready when they attack type of person. And I could stand to do more of that. So I appreciate Antonio letting me absorb some of his hang backism because, it makes me more accurate. It makes me a better, more patient player. Because I can make some dumb decisions if my attitude is like, get to the ball first all the time.
Yeah, maybe
The
you
other
get
thing I want to say
champ-
to
maybe champ rank if you start doing that.
maybe I'll be happy if I get back to diamond this season, but I was stuck in gold for a while, so I don't want to get into rank, but whatever. I'm doing better now. Here's the other thing Antonio taught me, or he reminded me rather, that I don't need to deal with the sour, angry children in the chat. Like, I really like, as I've said before, I really like connecting with the cool people in the chat. So I'm in the chat all day, every day, unless I'm playing with him. So, if somebody's being toxic to me, I'm just like, I'm sorry you're having a bad day. I hope tomorrow's better. You deserve to be happy. Casual is not the place to be spreading toxicity. And they always say, like, I'm not mad, man. I'm happy. I'm like, yeah, you seem real happy. Anyway, Antonio's attitude is like, just don't engage with them. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I think there's something about being a teacher that's like, I'm going to teach these kids a lesson. You know what? You ain't teaching them shit, Duke. Just let it go. Don't bother. Don't save your breath for cooling your porridge, as the saying goes. So anyway, I just wanted to say that to Antonio.
There you are.
There
Well,
you go.
There was a demo
Oh,
for,
A
there
demo,
is a
a
demo. It
demo,
may still
a
be
demo.
up, but it was at least on Steam for a while.
I saw this. I'm like, what?
I know,
Didn't
right?
This was a demo for this.
So Star Wars Outlaws had, maybe still has,
know
it was
what
certainly
about.
available on near the 4th of May, but it may or may not be there now. Anyway, yeah, Star Wars Outlaws, Steam demo.
yeah.
Very cool. Let's try
Yes,
it.
there is a free demo. There's a free demo.
There
I'm going to
is.
give it a go. Oh.
It's a stealth game.
What?
Let me tell you people, I love Ubisoft. Everybody always gives Ubisoft shit about like, oh, it's the same game every time. Yeah, it is. And I love it. I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. Climb a tower, observe the thing, unveil the map, 100 side missions, every region. Yes, let's do this. In Star Wars, you fucking kidding me? Yeah, let's make it happen. But it's a stealth game at its heart.
I didn't
Star
know
Wars
this.
Outlaws
I
is a
wasn't aware
stealth
it was
game.
stealthy.
It is. And now here's the thing. On a major update released several months after it launched, they apparently made the stealth a lot less punishing. So when I went to look about, Star Wars Outlaws stealth, people said, yeah, it's a stealth game. And some people on Reddit were complaining about how stealthy it is. And then they were like, dude, you should have seen it at launch. It was the game was over when you got caught. Now you get caught and, you can fight your way out. But you still are supposed to not get caught. And like so many of the missions are like, you can fight 50 people with one little blaster, or you can stealth around and not get caught. And it's just like, It makes so much more sense. Now, to be fair, there's lots of ways to not get caught. So you have this little alien that runs with you. Chinny has taken off, by the way. Yeah, you got this alien with you. Yeah, it's fuck him. Who needs him?
It's all right.
This
Fuck
bitch
him.
ass.
We don't care.
Yeah. Probably gonna go hang out with Sean some more, his best friend.
Yeah, it probably is. Bleh.
Yeah. So anyway, you got this little alien dude, and like you can tell him like go fuck with that guy or go snatch that off the table. So they look over there, and you know you got a lot of options for how you deal with the stealth action, but I don't know, like a lot of the missions in the demo were like, you know, get this record from the, you know, the raiders and get this from the Hutts and get and like go steal this data from this computer where the stormtroopers are. And I was like, okay. So I like kind of snuck into the area, the building where the computer is. And then I'm downloading the files. And then the stormtrooper's like, hey, what are you doing here? And it's like busted. And you had to pay a fine to get out of prison. And then you're back at the start of the mission. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, do you know, I was really quite interested in this, but now you're talking about it, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
probably not.
I mean, that's the thing. This demo shot itself in the foot because I probably would have bought it when it was half off or, you know, two-thirds off. But now I'm like, if I get it for free on Epic Game Store or something, or they give it away somewhere, I'll play it. But I don't think I'm gonna buy it ever.
This is the
'Cause
improved.
it's
This is the improved version of it as well. Like,
This
when
is
it
the
came
improved
out.
version.
And I mean,
it
look,
wasn't as
here's the
good.
thing. All the mechanics are awesome. Even as stealth goes, it's not bad at all. You have a huge open map. You got this land speeder from the jump. They drop you right into the demo. There's a little, you know, some stuff is a little tricky. But if I can do the stealth, anybody can do the stealth because I suck at stealth. So the fact that I stealthed my way out of, you know, certain situations was good. Nix, your little alien friend, is cute. You know, there are certain moments where you shoot a bunch of guys, which is great. I was riding to a mission and there was this, you know, like house, kind of like the moisture farm you're on Tatooine in the demo.
Sure.
And there's this moisture farmer who's like, oh no, raiders are coming, please help me. And I'm like, yeah, I'll help you. And I took him out. Pew, pew, pew. And that was very satisfying. But, you know, I want a different weapon. I don't want a pistol. You know what I mean? If I'm going to be in Star Wars, I want a lightsaber or I want like a machine gun.
Do you,
And
do you
can't
like
have
the
either
fact
of
that
those
you're
things.
not a Jedi or anything?
I don't mind not being a Jedi. I mind having only a blaster, like a pistol. I'm not
Can
Han
you
Solo,
can you
man.
level up to be a Jedi? Can you get
No,
like,
No, you're not a
no.
Jedi ever. You're
No.
it's outlawed. You're on the margins of society, and part
see
of
that?
it is because, you, yeah, I
You're
know.
You're
but
kind of a Han Solo like.
You
in
are.
this game,
You are. You're
know?
sort of Han Solo, and like part of it is like doing what Han Solo does, like walking the tightrope between all these different groups of people, the Hutts and
Yeah.
the Empire, and then this and then that. And I don't hate that. I
No,
kind
I
of
like the idea of
like-
that. Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's cool.
But on the
Where's
other
a
hand, that's
lightsaber?
Yeah. Play Jedi.
It's Star Wars.
have you played
I want a
Survivors?
there's
lightsaber.
100 Star Wars games where you
Not
can play
yet,
with a
no, I
lightsaber.
haven't.
So
played
there's
that
your
yet.
lightsaber. See if you want
I
to.
know, I've got
And-
it. I bought it, never played it.
They did this basic setup as one of the possible origin stories on Star Wars: The Old Republic, which I was also playing again recently. Because when I got done with this, I was like, all right, now I got the Star Wars bug. What can I play that'll feed that itch? Oh yeah, The Old Republic. And it's a very different game. It's not a great game, but you can be a Jedi. So I was like, I want to be a Jedi. I'll play The Old Republic. Game.
Yeah, I wanna switch a lightsaber around.
Vroom, vroom. That's not how you vroom.
Yeah,
Boing.
exactly.
Anyway, so that's Star Wars Outlaws. You know, your mileage may vary. It's a good Ubisoft game. It's just I don't like stealth. So if you like stealth, give it a shot. If you don't, maybe not for you.
Meh.
Maybe there's a mod that like really takes away the stealth. I don't know.
So I've been playing more South of Midnight,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you must be
Minus-
done with this by now.
minus the combat. So I ain't fucking like fighting anyone now.
Really? No, you could turn off the. Oh, it's like
Yeah,
a
you
slider
can-
setting.
Yeah, we mentioned
it
this last
off.
week. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it does.
Makes
If you
sense.
want to do it, you still can, right? So it doesn't
Okay.
completely remove it from the game, but you can just press the button to skip.
So, have,
So
you,
as
have,
soon
you,
as
have
you-
you been skipping everyone though?
I've been skipping all the combat.
Right.
I ain't been doing none of that shit.
None of that.
But what I think I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna. This is probably a bad idea, because I'll have forgotten how to fight in the game.
Yeah.
You turn
but
it
I'm
on for the
gonna-
final boss.
For the final boss, yeah. When I get to the final boss, I
You're
feel
gonna
like
just
I should
spam all
do-
the buttons. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on.
I just feel like I should do the boss fights, but fucking
Maybe.
ignore all the shitty
Eh.
little fights.
Don't worry
What
about
is
it.
So that's kind of
Yeah,
what I'm
really.
doing at the
We
moment.
won't judge you if you don't turn it on for the boss.
I don't
fights.
give a shit. And to be quite frank, I'm actually I do actually think I'm enjoying it more.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. And the story and everything else is great. So I think as well, what was so annoying about the fighting is it was so repetitive. It was the exact same thing every time. Go to a place, find 3 areas where there's some taint, have a fight, unlock the taint, and then obviously have the boss fight with the main baddie, in that particular part of the map. So I think I've got a boss fight coming up. So I think I'm gonna do the boss fight, but I'm just ignoring all the little shitty ones. I'm still leveling.
Boss fight like a boss.
Boss like a boss. What's quite interesting is though, when you skip the fighting, you still get the reward for doing it. So you still get the leveling up stuff. So you still get, so you can level up.
You got to be ready for the boss fight.
Ready
Turn it back on.
in case, exactly. In case you decide that you are gonna fight shit. But yeah, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it. I don't know whether I don't know. I feel like I'm enjoying it more without the fighting. I think I'm gonna stick with that. I feel like I am, because it's quicker as well. You know what I mean? I'm getting through it faster for sure.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah. So there you go. South of Midnight is pretty good. Turn off the fighting because it's shit. There you go. Ginny, are you going to talk about some? Are you going to wait till we get to Doom?
Yeah, I mean, what my list is wrong actually. So it's basically. I played. Should we talk about Doom? Because I played a little bit of it. Yeah, I played a little bit. I didn't really have time at all. I downloaded it. That's as far as I got. And I did play before the show started. I played 10 minutes. But it's not.
Okay.
Anything.
Yeah, I've played
Play my video. Yeah, bitch.
Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
Yeah, so Doom Dark Ages.
Yeah.
I played about an hour. I played about an hour of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't play a ton. I didn't play a shit ton. But I did play about an hour, and it's changed slightly. You get a shield now.
A shield.
You didn't get in the previous 2
So
games.
I have a question about this game. It's been a while since I played a Doom game. Here's a question. Why does Doom need a story? Isn't it just you go to hell and you kill all the demons at the end?
Yeah, it's barely
Why
a
am I
story,
watching these
though, to be
cutscenes? I mean, yeah, but on the other hand, it's a lot more story than it needs to be. Like, them humans continue to resist us and blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. I just want to kill demons.
What blew my mind was like, it's kind of like they've got like intercoms in their ears, and they're like, it's like a mix between. It's like a medieval Jason Bourne in hell.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's send him in, but he's here. Oh my god!
Right.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing is like the forces, I guess, of humanity defending against the demons, like spread out over 20 places. There's this, hedonism bot is like, do we need to send him in now?
But we have to save this place, otherwise it will collapse.
Right. I mean, whatever. It didn't go on too long. It's just there was a certain point at which I was like, condescending stuff.
Yeah, but then to be fair, it does just send you in with your shield to.
Can we cut the condescending crap and play the game?
No, you're not wrong. It's just it reached a point where I was like,
it seemed a bit silly. It seemed a bit silly.
It'd be more like Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore is the perfect amount of backstory. I meant to get the sound effect, but I don't have it. The whole backstory of the video game is we have to take your grandma's house because she didn't pay her taxes. Grandma, you didn't pay your taxes? I would have, but I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all the backstory
All you need to know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And I feel like the 2016 Doom did that really well. Like, did that, don't worry about the story. You know, just play Doom Guy's just a maniac basically that just kills everyone.
Sure.
And then Eternal laid on the story a bit thicker. And the main criticism of Eternal, and I did find this when I played it, was like it kind of felt like a puzzle game disguised as a first-person shooter. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need fuel for my chainsaw or my flamethrower, so I've got to do this, and then I need X, so I've got to do Y. But yeah, so I can't really comment much about this game. But what I've heard is that it takes itself very seriously with the story. There's a bit more.
I don't know if I'd say very seriously, a little seriously. It definitely is more than I expected from a Doom game because the last Doom I played I think it was like Doom 3 or something, and that was still in the days when it was just like, okay, go start killing things. Like that was all the story you got. So compared to this is.
I shot the 3 hell gates. Did you do that?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
still-
did. Did you fight
yeah.
the big super dude at the end of
Yeah,
the first chapter? Because I
fought
finished the first
big
chapter.
super dude.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool because they gave you a turret, and it was basically just like keep shooting him, and eventually you'll power up the lightning rod or whatever the fuck it is, and then you can
Yeah.
use that against him, and then he drops at one point. I was like, okay, that's pretty satisfying.
I liked it. I like the combat. I like the shield. I
Yeah,
like the way you
yeah.
can, just smush people. Pretty
Sure,
much.
it
You
adds
can-
something new to the mix. It's not just shooting; it's also punching, and you have this
Yeah.
gauntlet. It's like super death gauntlet, and you have to collect.
Yeah.
That's the thing is that like I'm not used to the mechanic of collecting health, collecting armor, collecting ammo, collecting gauntlets on the ground. But they're very glowy, and it's
Yeah.
very clear what's what. Blue is health, and green is shields and stuff. You have a map. It all worked very well, definitely.
Yeah, I think it was slick. Apart from it's taking itself a bit too seriously with the cutscenes and story, etc.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought the
it's-
gameplay
Climbing up
itself
the
was fun.
walls, jumping and stuff. Yeah,
it's
crashing through walls.
It's a video game video game, isn't it? You know what I mean? It is a
Yeah.
video game, and I
Yes.
like that. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a
Yeah.
video game.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And I'm sure they have to have some kind of story to keep people off their backs. And who knows? Maybe people, I don't know. I don't know what people who like Doom are really like because I ain't one of them. But, I can see them being like, okay, again, just running around killing demons. Like, give me a little story here. But for me, I was like, whatever. But it didn't take too long. You could easily skip it because you knew you weren't missing anything important. So.
Yeah, I think Doom's at its best when you've just got a little area and there's a lot of bloody enemies coming at you, and then bigger ones come, and then bigger ones come, and you just shoot the shit out of them, rip them apart,
Yeah.
and then you're good.
I think the
mean,
combos
that's-
work really well in this. Yeah,
That's
there's
Doom,
this
man. That's
punching
Doom.
combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, and
I
you-
haven't done anything with these, but
Do you know what I thought was really cool about it is
do tell.
like the combos and all that stuff weren't very complicated, but became
no.
second nature really quickly.
Yeah,
You know,
sure, totally.
you were quickly doing it just automatically without thinking.
Right, because you could just shoot everything, which is like standard
Yeah.
Doom, but it's more fun to like punch them and smash them with your shield, and then like
Yeah.
wait for the green wave to get to you, and then you shield, and then it boom bounces back to them, and fuck now, bitch.
It sort of feels like a combat playground, really, doesn't it? Where
It is.
Yeah.
you're just sort of having fun.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And they added the mechanic of like climbing up when there's like claw marks on the wall. You know, you can climb up that wall. So there's a little 3D. I mean, Doom's always been the 3D game. Strangely enough, Wolfenstein 3D was really only up, down, left, right. But Doom had up and down. So anyway, this game adds even more verticality, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
I
think
like
this is
it.
going to be a nice palette cleanser. Palette. Hello, I'm having a stroke. Palette.
If you're a rabbit trying to
cleanser.
get rid of the taste of food in your mouth, then you have a pellet cleanser. But
Yeah, that's right.
And because I'm coming off. Well, I'm nearly done with it, but I'm coming off the back of a big RPG, and I feel like I just
Yeah.
need to just kill a lot of stuff. So I feel like this will be next on my list of stuff to do. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna play it.
why not?
I played the other two
It's on
all the
Game
way
Pass.
through. So yeah,
okay.
I guess
So
I
thumbs
like.
up
I,
for
I,
me, even though it's not my jam.
I guess I like Doom, but I don't really think of myself as a Doom fan. Am I just
Yeah,
like a
right.
crack addict in denial? Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not a crack addict.
No, because you don't have to fiend for it. You're not getting this on day one and like playing it right away. That's a crack addict in denial, and then saying like, I don't really care.
Oh, really good. I did download it on day one though, dude. I just didn't play it.
Yeah, but you didn't start playing it on day one. Though.
No.
If you put your child's welfare ahead of Doom, then you're not a crack addict. In denial.
That's on the box though. Please put your child's welfare ahead of this game.
No, please do not put your child. They would not want you to put your child's welfare.
No,
ahead
they
of this
do.
game.
They do. Yeah, no, I'll give it a go. So I'll give it a
For
thumbs
PR
up
purposes.
for the very
Yeah, big
Yes.
thumbs up from me.
for the very small
Word.
Yeah.
And it looks good. Looks
Good,
great,
look
by the
good.
way.
It does look good. It is very
looks
good looking
great.
game. And it has difficulty sliders. You can adjust the size of the
Yeah.
text.
Did you
It's
enjoy
like-
that?
I
Stu?
like all those
Stu,
things.
you
I
like that?
enjoy all of that
you like
stuff. I
don't
like
you?
it. I think we should have more of that in game.
Well, it's all come in, isn't
Well,
it?
that's
Like,
becoming standard.
Yeah,
yes.
it's happening.
Yeah.
now,
Which is great. There's no reason not to.
Apart from Elden Ring, because let's be honest, people
If
who
it-
play
if
those games don't want
but
those
if it's
sliders.
like-
Well, but you put the mod in. What does it matter if it's a mod or a thing in the game?
I
Yeah,
guess
you
you're
actually
right.
played it with a mod, so I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
played it easy mod.
So
I
you
can
just
make
said
it
Fine,
easier
there's
than I
nothing wrong
played
with
it.
that.
you said
I can
Elden
make it
Ring shouldn't
easier.
have it, and then you made it have it anyway. So
I know I did. I actually made it happen.
But no, I think you're right. I think Elden Ring's the part of the design of the game is that it's quite difficult, and you learn
Incredibly
by
hard,
dying.
yeah.
But it'd be like Limbo having an easy mode. It's not really the point of that game. But like games
Yeah.
like
Correct.
this,
Fair enough.
Yeah,
games like
it
this
doesn't matter.
doesn't really matter, you know.
Because you want to feel like a badass.
You
don't
just want to. It's a
ultimately?
power
Whatever
trip, isn't
your
it? Yeah.
gaming
Right.
skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just want to be a fucking
And I have to
badass
wonder
in
if
everything.
Steam's refund policy had anything to do with that, because I could totally see getting Elden Ring without knowing anything about it, playing it, being like, "This is way too hard. Fuck this. I'm getting a refund," and then them saying like, or other game developers being like, "In order to minimize the degree to which people refund games, let's just make it easier on a slider."
There must be a spreadsheet somewhere that exists of like make a game easier, more people play it for
Right.
longer. You know, there must be something.
And people just don't rage quit as much, and therefore they're more likely to tell their friends, and you get that viral buzz.
But
But then
every,
you'll get that element of people who are like, "Oh, this was fucking too easy. There
well,
was
no,
no
but
challenge."
every
well, yeah, but
developer,
it works the other way too, because then you can make it more difficult.
every developer
Yeah.
will tell you that they don't care how people play their game as long as they play it. You know, if they play it
I
and
wouldn't
enjoy
care
it,
if I was a developer.
you know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
if someone plays it and they play it for a long time and they enjoy it, a developer doesn't really mind. Do you know what I mean? Like really, like for these
No.
types of games, unless it's baked into the core of what the game's about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi.
Mm.
All right, so that's 3 thumbs up on Doom there.
3 thumbs up, big ones. Yeah, it's
That's
good fun.
right. So is it back to me then, or Stu, or you got something?
No, it's back to you. We'll do another
Okay,
one of yours,
back to
'cause
me.
you've got a
Here's the
few,
thing,
haven't you?
people. There was a free weekend this weekend with a game called Foundry.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
God,
right,
This is
Foundry.
factory building game.
This weekend.
It's this weekend.
Yeah, so it's kind of a cross between Factorio and
course it is.
Minecraft.
Oh, boy.
Of course it is.
Of course it
The
is.
question that people are asking me right now in the chat, over email, they're texting me. I just get
I bet
every
they
5
are.
seconds there's another question
Pigeon.
coming from a viewer. You pigeons with notes attached to their beaks. You'd think they'd put it on their feet, but no, they put it on their beaks, which is kind of cruel to the pigeons. Anyway, the question is, how is this different from Satisfactory? And the answer
That's a
is,
good question.
it's kind of not. It's a lot like Stummies.
It's exactly like Stummies.
And the twist is?
It's a much bigger pill.
So the main way it's different is that you can, it's voxel land generation. So it's procedural, which, I mean, for the most part, who cares? Procedural doesn't really affect this game. But for those who don't know, okay, so the main difference between this and Satisfactory is that this game is a lot closer to Factorio. Okay, so once upon a time there was Minecraft, and then someone made a mod for Minecraft which introduced factory elements, automation. And then they made Factorio, which is a top-down factory game, and you start by banging at the coal on the ground with your little hatchet, and eventually you have 17,000 machines making all sorts of things for you. Satisfactory is the same kind of game, but it's first person. So it made it different, and it's not a procedurally generated world the way Minecraft and Factorio are. However, Satisfactory, I mean, I love it. Satisfactory is a great game. They just did 1.0. They finally launched officially, and I haven't played it since it launched officially, but I've played it a bunch before the launch, and it's a really good game. This game is great. I really had a lot of fun with it. In fact, the only note I wrote down is fun. You interact with a whole bunch of machines. They took the annoying parts out of Factorio out of the game pretty quickly. So for instance, in Factorio, you have to get machines to dig up the coal so they can run the other machines, and you have to keep generating that electricity, and you have to boil water and all this stuff. In Foundry, within the first half hour maybe, you have a self-generating power system. You don't really have to worry about power because you have these mining droids that will just mine this element, and you can just put that right in the furnace, and then you just and the smart thing they did too is you make a foundation out of these building blocks, and then anything you put on that foundation is powered by any power source that is on that foundation. You know what I mean? So like you just make a nice big floor.
I'm with you.
And
I'm with
then-
you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so anyway, it's very intuitive. The first person is a little strange at first, just like it is with Satisfactory, but it's a very well made game. Yeah, and it's very satisfying. Like you know, you're building robots to sell. Now, here's the other difference with Foundry. When it comes to Satisfactory, you have this like space needle thing that's like firing things back home or whatever. I have no idea what it's supposed to be, but basically you're just making stuff to send through that device, and then eventually you'll get the ultimate thing that you make, and then you get off the planet or whatever. I don't know what happens at the end. I've never gotten to the end of Satisfactory. In this game, it's different. This was actually published, not created, but published by Paradox, the strategy people. You know, they made Europa, whatever it is. They made Crusader Kings 2 and 3.
All
and
right,
probably
okay.
1.
Okay.
So they, you know, Stellaris, they're deep strategy people. Now, this isn't a deep strategy game, but the difference with this and Satisfactory is when you start producing stuff, you're sending it to a space station where you're going to sell it. And so eventually it becomes like this galactic commerce game where you're like trying to make sure that you get the most profit, and presumably you can go after your, you know, competitors and take them over or whatever. So the sense I get is at a certain point, it goes from being a factory game to being a, you know, trade monopoly style game.
My only thing with it, because it's first person, I feel like
It is.
I feel like you need that Factorio view to sort of get an overview
Sure.
of what you're doing when it's on a large scale. Do you struggle with
Yes.
that?
A little bit, but on the other hand, you know, when you look at it, so two things. One, you can build a tower to go up and look from a distance above. And two, you know, the way my brain works at least is when I'm playing Factorio, I think, you know, top down, okay, I have a machine in the lower right corner of the factory that I need to check every once in a while to make sure it's working correctly, whatever. In this game, it's like, okay, my ship lands here, and that's the thing you can always see when you look around, like this way to your ship. So I'll be like, okay, I set up a machine, you know, to the right of the entrance of the ship that I'll need to check every once in a while. In other words, your
Yeah.
brain makes a space, a structure in your
Yeah, yeah,
brain. It's called a schema. Yeah. And the other thing is, the more you play it, the more you start to realize how you can make everything more efficient. So most of the fun of these games comes in like breaking everything down and starting over, not starting the whole game over, but like, okay, I did this part of the factory in a very indirect way because I didn't really know what I was doing. And I'm going to tear it all down and make the much more direct, simple version. And it works. It's very nice to do that. So
So where does this
It's good.
rank amongst all these types of games? And do you like it better or
It's
worse?
funny. I would say that it scratches certain itches differently than Satisfactory does. And I feel like it's ridiculous for me to buy this game if I still haven't finished Satisfactory, which I've started like 3 times maybe, but I've never seen it all the way to the end. So I don't know. I'm going to not buy it for now. It's half off right now. It's only $15 at the present moment. But I think I'm going to leave it, play more Satisfactory, and then the next time this comes on sale, I might buy it. So
Okay.
I'd say probably right now for me, I mean, Factorio is the OG, but it's Satisfactory, Foundry, and then I haven't played like Dyson Sphere something. I don't know. There's another game that's
Yeah,
kind of like this called
Dyson
Dyson
Sphere,
Sphere.
yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, but I looked at a lot of people saying like, okay, because I wanted to say, okay, those of you who have played Foundry a lot, what makes it better or different from Satisfactory? And most of the people were saying like, well, if you like digging into the planet, which can be nice in a factory game, because then you just put the conveyor belt of stuff. That's the biggest challenge in Factorio or this game or Satisfactory, is that you have all these conveyor belts going all these different directions, and it can be hard to keep track of what's where. And you have to jump over things and so forth. Now, obviously, they have things built into the game, so you can ramp up and then go over and then ramp down, which is very convenient. But in this game, you can like dig tunnels to put your conveyor belts through, which is pretty funky. I like that. That's pretty interesting. However, the thing that these games need that I wish Foundry had, and apparently it doesn't, is at some point you should be able to miniaturize stuff. In other words, right now, it may take 3 different machines to produce the science pack. And the science pack is needed to keep feeding into the research machine so you can advance the next level on the research tree, right? Does that make sense? That's what the science pack
not
does.
really, but carry on.
Okay, well,
Well,
you
yeah,
have to
we'll take
use
your
3
word
machines.
for it.
You have to use 3 machines to make this one pack. Okay. At some point in the game, it would be really nice if you could miniaturize and combine those 3 machines into one, so that you just have one machine, you feed the same thing into it, and then this new thing comes out of it. Because right now you have to refine this ore into these plates. You have to combine these plates with these rods and do that. And yet, you know what I mean? Like there's all these things you got to keep
But,
mixing.
but isn't that tedium part of the game? I feel
It
like
is.
that's
It
why
is.
people play these games.
Yes, but at a certain point, you don't want to have to deal with those basic level things when you're getting to next level stuff. In other words, I don't feel like we power up in this game in any meaningful way. You can unlock
get
some
what you're
research that
saying.
makes you run faster, but it would be nice if you could have, and they do, I guess I shouldn't say you don't level up in any meaningful ways, because you do get like faster conveyor belts and stuff like that. But I think it will be cool, and I do believe they'll eventually do this, where you can miniaturize, not in a tiny way, but instead of having these 3 machines, you can just make 1 machine, and you still have to put all the same inputs into it, but it's just a more streamlined system so that your factory is less cumbersome to take care of.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, not for me.
Yeah,
Don't know-
fair enough.
Don't know about you, Mike.
It could be for me, but
Oh,
Well, have you ever-
Factorio has always been something that I've always reckoned I could get into, but
There is a free demo of Factorio on Steam, Chinny, so you put it on your wish list. Try the free demo.
wish
See
What's
if you
a
like
wish
it.
list?
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I
hell's a
just
wish
like to
list?
say that
Sounds
whenever
like a
we talk to Chinny
complicated
about
PC thing.
games.
Yeah, it does. What the hell?
Well, speaking of which, they're telling me this Windows 10 shit's over in October. I got to get Windows 11, but I
Have
tried
you
to
not got
figure it
Windows
out.
11 yet? Jesus Christ.
No, and on the system update on Windows, it's like, check here to see if you can get Windows 11. And I click it, and it's like, here's information about Windows 11. And I'm like, how do I just install it? And they go to system upgrade. And I go to system upgrade. It's like, click here to see if you can run Windows 11. So I think I need to make a boot disk on a flash drive because it won't do it automatically because I
shouldn't.
built my own PC.
You should.
And
No,
maybe
you
I'm
should be
missing
able to.
something.
No,
I
no,
don't
you should
know.
just be able to upgrade.
Well,
You should
here's the
do
thing.
it.
I'm going to finish this school year. We got less than a month to go now. So when I get done with school, I'll take a week to do nothing, and then that will be one of my top
They
priorities.
don't.
for
I mean, they
summer.
don't. You don't even have to get a new account anymore for Windows.
See, that's the
Basically,
thing.
it just transfers from
I-
one Windows to another.
Right. Exactly. I went. I got a PC, a laptop from the school district where I teach. They had some excess tech, and I bought the iPad. I told you all about that. And I got a laptop too. And the laptop had Windows 10 when I bought it. And then one day, maybe 3 months ago, it was like, "We're ready to install Windows 11. Is that okay? Click here." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, it just does
and then
it.
it did it. It was seamless.
Yeah.
But on my PC, for some reason, it's not as easy. So I don't. Whatever. I'll sort it out. But if
Yeah, it
anybody wants
should
to
be.
help me sort that, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who's
I know.
next?
I know, Pan. Hardly Dan. He'll sort you out.
Yeah, Dan. Holler
Yeah,
at me.
I'm going to talk about Clair Obscur Expedition 33
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the play my game from last week.
because I played quite a lot of that this week.
Yeah.
I have.
Because he
I
plays well on the
have.
Steam Deck, doesn't it?
I've not played it on the Steam Deck.
Plays very
I've been
well on
sa-
there.
I installed it on my new super duper gaming laptop, of course. You know, to get the best graphical experience. And it is a Unreal Engine 5 game, so it does look pretty good. And I really like this game. I really, really like this game. And I am getting
Everybody
better
likes
at-
this game, Stu.
I know, yeah. I'm getting better at the combat. I think the story's excellent. I think it's so different to a lot of stories in games. Do you know what I mean? It's doing something quite unique in that regard because, as we know, Duke, there are a lot of games where you wake up and have no idea how you got there and there's some amnesia involved. Well, there's definitely not that bullshit in this story.
Good. I
this
did
is-
play a game this week that has that, so don't worry, we'll come into that.
Yeah, yeah. So none of that. This is literally this really cool people set out to try and kill the paintress who's killing, you know, like a generation of people every year. And you've got to try and stop her from doing it. And the enemies are great. It looks fucking phenomenal. I've done my first boss fight, which I've got to say was bloody fun. The first boss fight was really, really cool. It never got tedious. It was really strategic. You had to think about how you was, you know, what attacks you were going to string together. And
Yeah.
it just looks great when you power it up. And I'm getting better at dodging, better at, you know, countering. And that,
Is this
that's-
turn-based? I haven't played
Yeah,
this,
it
and I didn't get to this part in the show last week. Sorry.
It's
turn-based?
fully turn-based, but
Alright.
it's also active as well. So it's turn-based, but during your turn or their turn, you can counter, you can dodge.
Nice.
That then
Gotcha.
gives you like power-ups that then allow you to do bigger and better attacks on your next go.
Cool.
It is just cool. It is really cool. You pick up a lot of stuff like that can give you more skills. I've already got a healer, so I didn't have a healer to begin with, but then you get a healing skill.
Have you been knocked out or like game over at any point yet?
No, none of that.
Good.
None of that. But I am playing on fairly easy, so I'm not playing on anything
Just curious.
taxing.
Yeah.
But I love it. A lot of timing-based stuff, though, so it's not
Yeah.
so good for old people like me.
All right.
But it's very satisfying when you pull off a good counter or you pull off a great dodge.
Yeah, sure.
And he goes, perfect. And I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
did that spot on. But it's got a tempo. It's definitely got a tempo, and each
Yeah.
enemy has their own attack speeds and all that kind of stuff. So it's getting used to different enemies as you know, when you get a new enemy, it tends to be quite difficult because you've got to
Right.
work out what their attacks are because they're different to previous ones. But that's part of the fun, I guess. Gives you loads of variety.
Sure.
But, yeah,
You know, it's funny. There was a student in my next door neighbor, the guy who teaches next door to me. Between classes, this student was coming out of his room talking to him, and he was like, and he was clearly not interested. But the student was just talking and talking, and finally the teacher goes, "All right, you know what? Piotrowski, he's the one you need to talk to about video games." And he looks at me and he goes, "Have you played a Claire Obscure 33?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Oh, let me tell you about it." I was like, "I know, I've heard it's great." He's like, "Yeah, but you don't know how great." He just went on and on and on. I was like, "All right." So people
well,
get
I'm doing
excited
that
about
now
it.
because it is
Yeah.
great, and it looks amazing. It looks
Yeah,
really,
it
really
looks
good.
very nice.
And
And I've heard nothing but good things. So you know.
You kind of well, it's something weird happened though. So I faced the first boss, and then like up till now, as you can see, it's all third person. You're running through this beautiful landscape.
I don't know if I'd call it beautiful. It's dark and red.
Well, you know what
It's
I mean. It's
fine.
like
It's
yeah,
yeah.
but
It looks
but you're
the
running
graphics
through
are
it.
very good. Yes. Yeah.
You're running through it in third person.
Yes. Right.
It then goes to a kind of weird isometric not top down,
Yeah.
but zoomed
Three-quarters
out.
view. Yeah.
Like
right.
no, yeah, it's just zoomed out. It's a bit weird. Everything moves the same. Everything looks the same, but it's like kind of zoomed out and at an angle. And I
Yeah.
found that a little bit hard to get used to after playing so much of it in this perspective
yeah.
that you're seeing on screen,
Sure.
and then suddenly you're not in that perspective anymore.
Right. Right.
That's a nod. That's
but
a nod to, you know, the Final Fantasy VII overworld.
ARPGs.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what it is. Once you finish this first bit, the training, I guess, tutorial, it then sticks you into the overworld.
Yep.
But it's fine. It still looked great, but it was just different.
Yep.
It was a little bit like, ooh, this is a bit different. But yeah, I totally recommend giving this a go, Duke. I think you may like it because you like.
You know, I
turn-based.
feel I would not be comfortable starting a new RPG until I finish Avowed. I've got to finish Avowed.
Yeah, true.
And I'm still not nearly any way through that game. So I think that's when when summer gets here, when I sit down to play, I'm like, I want to do something where I don't have to pay attention to the story. I don't have to pay attention to new mechanics. So whatever. But I will play it. It does
fair
look
enough.
very good. I'm curious to see how I like it because it sounds good. So
Very good. Mike, anything else from you?
Speaking of Avowed,
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Avowed.
you will be speaking of Avowed, and I will not because I haven't
Avowed.
played it in the last 2 weeks.
I'm almost there. I haven't. I only
Okay.
played probably about an hour or two this week, but I've got to the mission where it goes. Here we go. You know that
Point
mission.
of
ready
no
for this
return
shit?
mission.
You know that
Yeah.
mission every game where it goes.
Yeah.
You better watch it.
Well, some
'cause-
games have a bunch of those, but you get the sense this is the last one. This
this
is
is.
it.
I feel like this is probably the last one. So yeah, it's dragging its heels. I've definitely hit a wall, but I mean I've had a good like. What is it like? Probably
You've been playing this a while now, haven't you?
probably about 50 to 60 hours on it. Do you know what I mean?
And
Like,
and
it's-
90% of this game is just so magical. It's that 10% of the fucking dialogue and story. It's like
yeah,
shut the
yeah,
fuck
yeah, yeah. There's still a lot of that, but like it's all sort of boring. No, but it's kind of my only sort of knock on it really is that what you get in the first 10 hours
Yeah.
is pretty much what you get the whole game, right?
Oh, sure.
Which isn't bad. It's just that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's just
Right. Yeah,
go and do a thing, get a thing,
yeah.
kill a bunch of things. It's very similar in what it's doing. Interesting story beats. There's not, there are some things that are like, oh, that's interesting, that's cool. Definitely feel like it gets a little bit less as you go on to the other worlds. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not as rammed as
Less tedious.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
no,
That's good.
no.
The
like-
impression, the
like
interestingness of
less
the
dense
location.
of quests.
Gotcha.
The
I
last,
gotcha. Okay,
the last place that I'm at, there might be a few more, but I'm guessing this is the big last one because I got the achievement of getting all the fast travel points and all that sort of stuff. So
There's still like 5 bounties in each of the areas.
is he not muted? He's not. Is he just walking?
No,
around?
Stu just wandered away with his mic on.
Christ.
There's still
Just walking.
No. It's
Yeah.
seamless, Chinny. We got to keep going, so
yeah,
it's
sorry.
seamless.
Yeah, I forgot that it was a professional show. Yeah, so it's just sorry, I forgot what I was saying. Yes, the last area.
It's a little less.
It just feels less dense of stuff. You know, you go in the first couple and you're like, oh, there's loads of quests. You know, you just kind of get this impression like I'm going to be here for ages. And there's definitely a fair few. And the last area, the last open area, is impressive because there's this huge kind of like we can hear you, Stu. Stu, you didn't.
Sorry, guys.
Stu, you didn't.
So we had hear you and you're.
Sorry.
That's
Did my
seamless.
I did my usual stupid trick and forgot to take my pills.
All right.
That's fine.
anyway.
But
It's a Sunday night
The
trick.
mic does
that
have a
when I
mute
do the
option.
podcast.
Yeah, you can
I,
mute.
I didn't have. I was more fixated on the fact that I'm an hour and a half late taking my pills.
I don't care about that. I
That's a
care
good
about.
reason.
I care
Well, I
about-
don't care whether you care.
All right. I was just talking about.
all right. Well, either this is a professional show or it's not. And I think we're
There
just
it
in the
is.
realm of not.
the last area. It's got some cool bits. You know what I mean? It looks cool.
Yes.
Like I'm not saying that they haven't made the time to make it look really good.
Yeah. Right.
But it is a big lava based sort of thing, so it is cool. And the story with one of your companions, the most boring companion in my opinion, sort of comes to a conclusion in that area.
Okay.
Which is cool. And there's a ton of side quests that are very missable but very interesting. But it is more of that. You know, there's not any huge revelations in terms of gameplay. It doesn't change it up too much. But very good, very solid, enjoyable. The thing is, I think this game basically wins on merit because of how fun that combat is, you know, and how flexible it is. Because I was going really deep into the, you know, casting spells and doing all that sort of stuff. And then I sort of realised that there's only about 3 spells that I really like and that I use a lot. And there's one where you do these like fireballs. There's another one where I shoot this electronic ball and it bounces between them all the enemies.
Sure.
So it like evenly fucks them all up, which is really good.
Yeah.
And then I do this sort of like big lightning strike thing that I like to do. So you know what? If you just buy those separately in the skill tree, I don't need to do the wand shit. And the actual wand is really poor. And every time I use it, my companion goes, "You need a better weapon." I'm like, "This is upgraded.
Right.
Like I've upgraded the shit out of this."
You should have seen this before.
Yeah. So I swapped that, and I was playing like I don't know, I killed some boss or something, and I got this like sick gun. No, it was it was a dwarf guy, and I did this boss, and he gave me this blacksmith sort of dwarf guy.
Yeah.
Says, "I'll give you this sick gun."
Sure, you're not thinking of Doom now.
It was one of those moments where you go up to a guy, you meet him for the first time, and they say, "If you kill this guy, I'll make you this gun." And the dialogue was like, "I've already killed him. I've already done that." All right.
Right. Yeah.
And then I did it, and then he says, "Well, if you go and get this extra bit of there, I'll upgrade the gun even better." And I was like, "I've already done it. That's done. Done that."
It would be great if you had the option to silently just hand him the thing.
Yeah, and I was like, right, yeah, okay, so that was now a challenge. So so I got that, and so I'm using a gun and sword and shield, which is pretty traditional, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it. But all the spells make it fun because it still gives you lots of variety in the combat. Do you know what I mean? I can cast a bear, I can charge at them, I can strike lightning, I can bounce lightning all around.
I liked how they've also got your companions in there, so you can be like, hey, do a thing over here, like run at them.
And all their powers are pretty much upgraded, so they've got a ton of powers as well.
Sure.
The Yatsley, the sort of little hairy bunny thing, she's got some cool moves.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, enjoying it. Nearly finished with it. I'm done with it. You know when you feel like I'm done with it.
You've
ready
changed,
to be
Chinny.
Why?
Since when do you like a game with orcs and elves and wizards and shit?
He played Witcher 3. He played Skyrim.
Witcher 3,
I
Skyrim.
know.
You know, I don't mind the good ones.
You haven't done Dragon Age or Baldur's Gate.
No, yeah, Baldur's Gate.
You're not that hardcore.
I was tempted.
You'll do the biggest ones.
I was tempted with Baldur's Gate because I've heard it's fantastic. So yeah, I'll do the bigger ones. I won't do the smaller ones, but no, I'm impressed with it, and I feel
Not
like
that Dragon Age is that small, but still.
I do feel bad for Avowed because I feel that it's when it came out, everybody was raving about it, and I feel that it will be
dropped the fuck off,
forgotten a big time. And there is nothing wrong with it. It's one of those games where there's nothing wrong with it.
It's really well
but it
made.
just isn't as good as everything else. Which
Well,
is
do you know what, Mike? You've got to keep championing it. You know what I mean? Keep on being the, you know.
Here I am.
Exactly. That's what you got to
Everyone
do.
who can
Keep
hear
it in
his
the
voice.
consciousness.
Play it. Just play it.
Just playing.
Keep it in the consciousness of everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it for me. I haven't played anything else. I've still got.
I got one more I want to talk
I
about, then
haven't
I'll leave the other two for next time.
Yeah.
So there's one called Wuthering Waves, which I think is the title, probably a reference to Wuthering Heights.
Sure.
I guess.
The, Charlotte Bronte novel. But anyway, so this game, how to describe it? All right, so you know Genshin Impact.
I do.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's exactly like Stummies.
And the twist is?
It's a much bigger pill.
Okay, so it's free to play. I'm guessing.
It's free to play. It's swapping between characters. It's running around a big city. It's very agile. You wake up and you have no idea where you are.
Does anyone here not have amnesia? I don't know.
God, the voice acting. Oh my God. I wanted to like this game. Like the graphics are good. The combat's okay. Like it's serviceable. And like there's a lot to it. You know, gacha games get you because they're fun. But this game, oh my, even though you don't have a little, so far as I can tell so far, I played it for maybe an hour. It doesn't have one of them little follow you around. It doesn't have none of that shit.
That's good.
But all the characters are so quirky and fun and different. This one's more of a free spirit. Hey guys, let's go and do this and that. This one's very serious and only ever talks like this, but talks a lot. So even something as simple as like, okay, let's split up and meet here when you're done with what you're doing. It has to be, how about if we split up? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I also agree with this plan. All right, so we agree that we're going to get done with this thing we're doing. We're all going to meet up again. Yeah, let's meet up right here. This is a good spot for us. Shut the fuck up. Can we just fucking get on with it, please? So that said,
so you love it?
I don't love it. I actually uninstalled it because I played it. It is what it is. I think people deserve to see it on the stream. But apart from that, it's not a great game. The graphics are pretty. You have this one spell that like you can regain hit points, and while you're regaining the hit points, you're a breakdancing turtle for some reason.
Sure.
So it'll start playing like and it's like like dancing as a turtle. I was like, that's a really weird spell, man. But that's a thing. So, you know, Wuthering Waves, again, it's free. It's worth the price. If you can be, and here's the thing, look, this is true about Doom as well, but I don't want to get into it. I write books, you know, I'm a English teacher. I teach creative writing. I can't just ignore story. You know what I mean? Like I can't just like skip past a story. People tell me like, just skip past it. And I'm like, if I'm playing a video game, I kind of want to know something about the world that I'm playing in. I want to know what's going on around me. It's just that so many people don't know how to tell a story. So it's like, it's very painful sometimes. So this game, very painful dialogue, very painful storytelling. But
How do they
mechanics
get
weren't
jobs
terrible.
then?
That's a good question. I think it's because, you know, the people who are making the games are like, what, as long as you get us 5,000 lines of dialogue, we're good. You know what I mean? Like it's pulp writing. You just got to churn it out because they need to make the game last a certain amount of time. Again, the spreadsheet you were talking about, Chinny, there's probably a spreadsheet. Like if you invest 3 hours into the game, we've got you, and you're likely to buy, you know, fucking outfits and hairstyles and shit, skins and hats. And so, you know, how do you keep people here? Well, you make the dialogue take a very long time. And now I don't know that for sure, but I could totally see that being the case.
Make the dialogue a long time. I like it.
Or else they don't have editors. They don't have someone saying,
No.
we don't need to spend 2 minutes on, yes, let's meet up here again soon. You know,
I imagine the video game sometimes are like, more dialogue, brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Like more story, that makes all the gameplay worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Or, you know, it's like Barton Fink when he's like, hey, you ever act? We need Indians for a Norman Steele Western. He's like, I'm a writer. Think about it, Fink. Writers come and go. We always need Indians. You know, this idea that writers are dime a dozen, it doesn't matter what people write. Well, it does, you know, and we deserve better stories. So,
Cool thing about Claire Obscura, by the way, they found the writer of that story on Reddit.
Did they really?
Yep. He literally put a post up and said, "I'm making a video game. I used to work at Ubisoft. Can anybody write?" And the guy was like, "Yeah." And then the guy who did the soundtrack, they found him randomly on a sort of SoundCloud-like site.
That's
And
awesome.
that guy was only on that website like 2 weeks before it.
He got lost, and he's right.
No, he's like he went on it and he
2
was,
weeks ahead of time. Wow, that's crazy.
And he was like, "Oh yeah."
Damn, I'm in the wrong part of the internet.
And he's, have you ever made music for a video game? And he was like, "No." And he's like, "That's fine. Just do this."
That's awesome.
So
It's great as well. I mean, that's maybe what everyone needs to do.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. About Reddit, my teacher friend next door was like, I mentioned Reddit, and he goes, "What is Reddit?" And I had to try to explain in like 3 minutes what Reddit is. And then eventually at one point in the conversation, he's like, "So is it like the dark web?" And I was like, "No, it's not the dark web, but there was a scene on Brooklyn Nine-Nine when they're talking about cannibalism, and the guy goes, 'Where is it located?' 'Oh yeah, on Reddit, the forum for cannibals.'" It's like, of course it's on Reddit. So anyway. Wuthering Waves.
Wuthering Waves. Well,
I gave it a thumbs down on Steam, but you know it's free, so it can't. If you want a new gacha game, if you're bored with, I mean, Genshin Impact is the go-to game. Just play that. But if you're bored with Genshin Impact, try.
It's exactly like
this one.
Stummies.
Whoops, sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Well, it is. To be fair, it's true.
It is
It is exactly like Stummies.
It is exactly like Stummies. All right, so that's the games we've been playing. Anything else, Stu? Or are we moving on?
No, nothing
we
else.
do need
for
to
me.
talk about something that we didn't talk about last week, and
We can do.
Okay. News
yeah,
or games?
Yeah.
news.
News. Okay, here we go.
Putting news first.
Yeah, go on
Stu,
then.
you know
What's
what
the
it is.
news?
Stu, you know what it is.
Probably do, but I can't remember. What is it?
2 weeks ago, GTA 6 new trailer came out.
Oh yeah, we never talked about this at all, did we, last week? Yes, we did. Are we not going to break down yet, Chinny?
Yeah, where's the breakdown? What are you doing, lazy?
There's
I've
there's
got a
three different
baby.
types of
Sean
birds
Anderson's more
flying over.
important than what people want.
I've got a baby.
Three different types
Everybody
of birds, man. What
I've
is the matter with you?
people communicating like, is Chinny doing a breakdown? Is Chinny gonna do a breakdown? Have you seen this new trailer?
Yeah,
Chinny should
they're
do a
all
breakdown.
gagging for
So
it.
I think the most
This is what
notable-
you get for being good at what you do.
I think the most notable thing to say about the trailer, because I was a little underwhelmed in terms
I have
of
watched it, by the way. I did watch it.
I was a little
Yes, I
underwhelmed
did too.
on like it didn't tell you a lot. Do you know what I mean about what you're going to be doing? But
It's trying to tease the story, I think.
yeah, I think this is the intro of the game. To be honest, if I'm
By the
if I'm-
way, can I
Makes
just say
sense.
I called it? Because loads of people's like, oh yeah, it's definitely coming out this year. I'm like, it won't come out this
No,
year. I'm telling
no,
you, it'll be
it's not
next
coming
year.
out.
I
but
told people, I told them, and they didn't believe
Sorry,
me.
Chinny. We know you want to talk about the game, but first we have to
Sorry.
make clear that
What?
Stu is right. So.
What
I called it.
what's interesting about this trailer, and I think this trailer was released to soften the news of the delay, is that it looks very, very different lighting-wise from the first trailer.
Okay.
It's a lot more realistic looking, and it's hard to not look at this trailer and go, Jesus Christ, is this one of the prettiest games I've ever seen in my life?
Yes.
Yeah, it does look
It's
very
ridiculous. And
Yeah.
you know,
But what I want to know is it going to look like that on an Xbox Series S?
well,
That's what I
this
wanna
is
know.
running. This trailer is running on a PlayStation 5 Pro.
That's what I mean. So it's like on the top end PlayStation
on a
5. So what's it going to look on an Xbox Series S? That's what I want.
Pretty good, I
It's
imagine.
not going to look that different.
Pretty good. I imagine it's going to look pretty good.
You know it's within 90%.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
not gonna look bad.
graphics. We know that graphics are diminishing returns. It's asymptotic.
But
It's not.
but it's going to look good, Stu. Is my answer to that.
Okay,
It's going to
well,
look good.
I've
And the
got
gameplay is
full
going to be so
faith.
good because that's what GTA does that you won't even care about.
I've got full
Ooh,
faith
fraction.
in Rockstar. They won't let you down.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
They're gonna
I must say, the thing
fucking
that I
optimize
was
the shit out of that
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
thing that annoyed me about this trailer is there were only like 17 butts and maybe 56 boobs. It needs more butts and boobs. Come on, Rockstar.
More
What are you
butts
doing?
and boobs. Butts and
yeah.
boobs.
Yeah.
Butts and boobs.
So,
Butts and boobs.
so I feel like the trailer was a mix of like the intro to the game. You see Jason sort of doing handyman work, and then he sort of goes to meet his girlfriend who's
And then
doing
he's
that
doing handyman work.
And no, it's cool, and yeah, there's some elements of the trailer that are probably gameplay cutscenes. I remember they did this in the GTA 5 where like there's a mission where you jump on a boat, and that is part of the gameplay, but they make it look like a cutscene in the trailer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, look, It's
I'm gonna-
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Can
how
I
good
just
this
ask
game
a
looks.
question? I'm going to ask you a question here, Ginny,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm going to sound like a bit of a perv here.
Yeah, go on.
But, you know, GTA was known for hot coffee back in the day, right? Because obviously, but proper sex scenes in a video game have been pretty taboo, haven't they? Really,
Well, yeah,
unless it's
okay.
some hentai thing,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
It's
But
very
most-
rare you actually get to have sex in the game.
Yeah.
But apart from Witcher 3, obviously that happens.
No,
in
no, but
Witcher
you're
3.
not doing anything in that scene. It's a cutscene.
No, I
But you're
don't
not
necessarily
doing it.
mean you're interactive, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying
that's the next step.
they don't tend to approach
You do it in
adult
God of War. So.
theme. But again, it's more of a kind of cartoony, not
yeah.
really realistic
I
type
think
of
you
thing.
know.
But is it going to be in this GTA game? Are we going to get a fully adult? Not
No.
necessarily an adult.
That's not what
scene?
Rockstar does.
Well,
They're telling
are they
every
gonna
other
put
part of
it
the
Joking.
I
In the
don't
Lost
know,
and
I don't
Damned,
know.
they showed a full on. No, the Gay Tony. They showed
Yeah.
a full on dick.
Yeah, they did. I think
Yeah,
that
but there's
might
a difference
be in
between
this game,
showing
'cause
a
it's-
dick and like you have sex with your
Well,
other characters
it's
on a regular
kind
basis.
of alluded to it, hasn't it?
I don't-
in
I
the-
don't
Of
think
course,
there'll
that's,
be-
that's that's what games do is they point to it and then they pivot. And
I
they
don't.
move
I
on.
don't think there's
Well-
going to be a mini game shag bit.
No, I
Do you know
don't
what
think there's going to
No.
be necessarily that. But I
There's
think
gonna be a
Slap
cutscene.
X,
a bit
press
more
X to slap X.
Look,
You
she's
like
just come
that?
out of jail for how many years?
Adult
There's going to be a
theme.
cutscene where they bang.
There's
right?
gonna be a
Like,
little chicka
Yeah, yeah.
chow.
So don't your pervy itch will be scratched. So don't
No,
worry
it's
about
not
it.
so much. I'm
No,
not
he's not
that
asking for
reason.
himself. No, he doesn't want to know.
I'm not asking for that. I'm asking because it's something that's kind of seen as a bit taboo in video game
Ah,
stories.
no,
you
I mean,
see.
I
It's
think we're past
really-
it these days, aren't it? Who gives
Well,
a
are
shit?
we? Let's see.
Oh,
What
come on!
happens.
Every Steam
I don't
game is
think-
just
I don't-
tits.
No, look, here's the thing. I think that Rockstar and Bethesda and, I mean, if they were going to have it, they would have had it in Cyberpunk, right? And they don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like most films don't bother with actually showing sex scenes. Why? Because it's not relevant to the story. Once in a while, okay. So in the Florida Project, yeah, you gotta show a little bit of sex, but that's because it's a story about sex. Same with Tangerine. So whatever. Like I think most video games, it's not relevant. There's just no point. In the same way you don't see people using the toilet a lot. Like it's not relevant. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah,
for the
I-
story, you just shouldn't bother putting
This
it
is
in.
not what I wanted to talk about when talking about this trailer.
Well, guess what? You picked the wrong people to discuss this
Yeah,
game.
you did.
No, I think it's just I think it just looks great. There's loads of details in the game.
Yeah.
Things like just the way like people's clothes work on people's bodies. Do you know like
Yeah.
the physics of clothes
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
pulling
Like
when he
when
pulls,
we saw Monsters Inc. for the first time, we could see Sully's hair.
yeah.
bobbing
Yeah,
around, like,
waving
that's
around.
Well,
and
there's
moving.
like he pulls the till open because he's he's
Yeah.
kind of like racked in a store. I don't know, he's a or whatever, and like the money moves and the way that alcohol moves, the liquid moves in the bottles. Like this is ridiculous. Like we don't
Oh, yo,
we
hey,
don't.
it's usually
Wow,
news.
this is Clementine's talking to you now, Chinny. Chinny.
Stop whining about minor aesthetic details.
But what I'm saying is, enjoy
Jesus
this
Christ.
because this will be the last time this will ever happen, right? Because
We're
this
never going to be impressed
this
by it. you
this gaming industry is collapsing, right? We're not going to get games that cost $1 billion very often.
mean? I don't know. If there's a money to be made, there's money to be made.
You know, especially with Claire Obscura just coming out and just knocking everybody out of the water. But like this,
Well, that's going to make the studio step their game up.
Yeah.
Bethesda isn't going to let that shit take over.
but, look, you don't get games this detailed, this pretty, this vast, this.
Well, oh,
smart.
yeah, of course. Rockstar goes above and beyond. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I watched a video of a developer, a former Rockstar developer, watching this trailer, and he was saying how a lot of open world games they make an element like a tree, right?
Yeah.
And they copy and paste it, right, throughout
Of
the
course.
world. Rockstar do not do that.
Really? Every tree is different?
Every tree is different.
It can't be every tree is
This
different.
is what he says. It's
Not
like
every tree.
every house, every little thing,
Outta here, Rich.
they can make it all. So like it's all.
I mean, I don't want to say he's a liar, but there is such a thing as procedural generation, even in a small scale.
No, he specifically says a lot of developers use software to generate
Yeah.
chivalry.
Right.
Rockstar,
Here's a house is going to have this combination of
Rockstar
shit.
don't do that.
Proof, or I don't believe you. Give me proof. And some
All
guy
I've
you
got-
heard on a
You
video.
know what he's
No, it's
like,
not, no,
like
no. It's
proof
not some
after all
guy,
these
dude.
years.
He's a former.
I know, but to me, he's some guy. I don't know who the fuck this is you're talking about.
He's the guy. He
I believe you when he said
on
that.
GTA when you when you select a character on GTA 5 and he's like, oh, it's Trevor, and he's like woke up in women's underwear on a rock somewhere. He one of his jobs on GTA 5 was to animate all those, come up with all those scenes and animate them all.
That's great that he said that. Now I want proof that this person is telling the truth and is who he says he is, and
To be fair,
some sort
to be
of
fair,
confirming.
Duke, I've been studying this trailer as it's been playing, and every tree and shrub looks slightly
Every tree is
Yeah, they're all-
is very
they're all-
different
they're
from
all
every other.
different.
There's no way they
They
did
look
any kind of
slightly
procedural
different to
generation.
each
Well,
other.
give
Anyway,
me
the
this. Give
point
me
is,
this, Duke. Give
If
me
that's
this.
true, I impressed. I'm
Give me
impressed,
this,
but I
right? Give
doubt
me
it.
this, Duke. If there was one developer that would do it, it would be Rockstar, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
That's why it
probably.
takes 20 years.
That's
for the
why
new
these
game.
games take fucking 20
Well, how about
years.
this? Motherfuckers, make some houses look like other houses and bring them out more than once every
Yeah.
5 years. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
more like Ubisoft in that regard. You think
No.
people play Ubisoft games and go,
No.
I don't know, the roof on that building is a lot like the
No.
roof
That
on
Yeah,
that
I think
building.
they do,
building
actually.
looks
I
Gives
think-
a shit.
No, I think they
well, those
do.
people suck, and you should not be appeasing them.
No, please, Rockstar, do not be more like Ubisoft. Please be the opposite.
Be more
to
like Ubisoft.
Yeah, be more like Ubisoft.
He was
That's
saying
what
that
Steph
even
There's a
Auto-
tower to
he was
climb.
even saying like things like so for example, I've got on the screen now the watchtower for the prison, right? On screen, and details like the air vent has like dirt coming out from below it because air comes, like Rockstar will do all those details and it just adds all elements of like, God, this is like the most realistic thing you've ever seen, whereas other games won't do that. They just won't do that sort of stuff.
But to
Detail.
be fair, I mean, a lot of this trailer, let's be honest, is showing you what you're going to be doing in the game, isn't it? It's like,
Well, and different
there's a
parts of the
jet
game. Like,
ski,
let's show
there's
as much
an
as we can.
aeroplane.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, but we know all that,
there's a
don't
Which
we?
we know is, I mean,
yeah.
it's not going to be anything radically different from 5.
I think
Yeah.
what's
Which is
interesting to me, because you know, since San Andreas, like, you know, you're gonna get in a plane, you know, you're gonna do this.
Yeah,
What's
of course you
interesting
do.
to me is their take on certain things. So 4 was the American dream, 5 was what is success, what is winning,
right.
and 6 it looks like it's a Bonnie and Clyde, you know, trust sort of exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Well, it's going to be pretty as
I thought
well.
when you mentioned it was a former developer watching the trailer, I thought it'd be awesome if he just went, "Holy shit! Oh my god, look at that! Oh fuck, how did they do that?"
Well,
wow.
I mean, that is basically what he does a lot throughout the video. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you are. Rockstar 6.
All right, that's
Rockstar 6,
news.
GTA 6. A few people messaged me last week saying, "I can't believe you never talked about GTA 6." But at this,
Jenny, what are you doing?
at this point, and I did this with GTA 5, I stopped watching the trailers after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
because I did it with Red Dead 2. Like after the first one, as soon as I know it's coming, I'm like, who cares? Like, I'm gonna play it anyway.
Is it that you want to go in blind, or you just don't really care?
I want to go in as blind as I could possibly
As
can. You know.
yeah. I do that for certain movies. I'm like, I don't want to know anything about
Yeah,
this.
I'm fine. Like, I'm gonna play it. Like, what's the big deal? So,
Yep.
and I don't care that it was delayed. I don't think anybody cares really that it was delayed. So
Yeah.
there you are.
Stu cares because
No.
he has to, he was right. So
Yeah.
No, and now like developers can release the games this year, safe in the knowledge they're not
Well-
going to have to come up against GTA 6.
and better that Rockstar's always been good about this. They don't release a busted up broken game and then take 2 weeks fixing it. So that's better to delay it and do it right
Oh yeah.
than to put it out before it's done cooking.
No mention of online though yet, which is interesting.
Well, they never do they? Because I think they've already said that they won't release the online element of this till at least 2 or 3 months after it's been released.
Which is
So,
smart because then you get a bump in attention after the game's out, which most games
Yeah.
struggle to get.
And also, they want
But they
people
know
to play
people will go,
the single player. They want to.
Yeah, they want to play the single player, exactly. Now this
Yeah.
ain't on Steam. Well, this won't be on Steam straight away, will it?
Nope, it's not coming out.
Yeah,
on
see,
PC
I ain't
as
getting
far
no
as
console
we know.
for this shit, so
Yeah, it'd be,
we'll
it'd
see.
be- it could be a couple of years before it's on PC.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
for the
think I'll
record,
find other things to play.
GTA Online came out 2 weeks after GTA 5. 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they've said I think they've already come out and said this time they're going to wait.
I don't think they've said anything.
Yeah, they have. They've definitely said that. I've heard it.
I'm gonna do a Duke here and go proof. All right.
I can
move
dig
on.
for proof. But in the meantime, do we have emails?
Oh, we do.
Okay.
Oh, Okay, first email this evening is from Alex Green.
Alex Green.
And he says, "Were Waypoint? Question mark."
What?
So I've been playing some Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Been following the story, not exactly sure where I'm supposed to go. The map is fucking atrocious. Just give me a frigging waypoint on screen to follow. Tell me where to go. I should at least have a mini-map of some kind to tell me where to get to over there then. I've got up to the bit where I have to spray shit on the walls for these god-awful puzzles. Where's the accessibility options to make this easier? Guess who's not really enjoying this game? Yeah, me. Love running around with a lightsaber though, cutting off limbs. Thanks for reading, Alex. Oh,
He loves a mound, doesn't he, our Alex?
Don't he just?
He loves a mound.
Well, I mean, you're not a fan of the show if you don't love a moan.
He hates Indiana Jones. I mean,
that should be on our next round of T-shirts. We love a moan.
Love a moan.
He now hates Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's next?
But he keeps playing it.
What if he played?
Avowed. He'll be like, this game sucks.
What if he played Portal 2 and's like, oh, this is shit.
This is fucking Portal 2. I gotta keep making portals. What the fuck?
Portal, motherfucking portals. Oh, Red Dead Redemption. Fucking who wants to be a cowboy? Oh, I hate this game. Yeah, Alex, let us know your views on other games that you hated. That would be kind of interesting.
Well, what's our favourite games ever? So Skyrim, Witcher 3,
Skyrim,
Red Dead 2.
Witcher 3, Red Dead 2.
Have you played any of those
Portal
three
2.
games? What do you think of them, Alex?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, what do you think?
We want to know.
We'd love to know your views. Okay, next email this evening is from Jason. He says this: Full House courtesy flush. New Orleans can't hold them. I've seen some shit, but have you heard about these 10 dudes that escaped to prison in New Orleans through a toilet? Have you heard about this?
Yes, I did hear about this. The Duchess told me about it and showed me the picture. Apparently, they left Yelp-style reviews on their way out.
Yeah. Yeah, for
1
real,
out of 10
they-
stars. Worst prison ever.
That's so
They
funny.
took turns flushing each other. The last escapee almost got plunged by a prison guard. How's that even possible? I don't know if I should rewatch Shawshank Redemption or play that.
There you go. Was there a
Prison
poster
Break
over it
game.
when they were done? Yes.
Yeah, I never got to. I wonder where they ended up with 200 agents searching for them. It has me wondering how cool a video game with online players hunting down 10 inmates in Louisiana could be. Yeah, do you know, like a hunted style video game would be kind of cool. In setting quite a big area, and you've got to use, like, you know, real life methods to try and hunt them down.
Sure.
I quite
Or
like
you're
the
a big
idea of
monster
that.
and there's people tracking you. That'd be awesome.
Because they are, by the way, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but they are doing a new version of the Running Man. Have you heard about
sure,
this?
why not? I'd have.
But have you ever read the novella?
I
that
never
it's
read the
based on?
King story, no.
So basically, the story's so different to the Arnold
that's what I hear.
Schwarzenegger movie. It's literally just a dude on the run in the whole of America, and people are hunting him down. So there's there's no futuristic. It is like
Of course,
a
that didn't
game
make a
show,
great
but it's
movie. You gotta really spice it up.
Yeah, so that's but the new one's going to be a more realistic version of it, along
Sure.
with the long walk. The long walk's looking pretty cool. Have you seen anything on this? It's looking pretty cool.
No.
Have you read the long walk?
Nope.
So it's
Too long.
It's basically another.
I read
it's
the
another-
fast run,
Yeah,
not the long
yeah,
walk.
the short sprint.
I think this was part of the Bachman book. So I think this was one that he wrote under Richard.
The Batman
Bachman.
books. I read them.
The Bachman.
Oh man, the Joker. That was great.
And basically, it's set in a dystopian America where a bunch of teenagers have to walk across America from one side to the other. And
Stupid
they
teenagers.
They have to maintain a speed of something like 4 miles an hour.
He loves
And
to make
if
people
you-
just keep moving.
And if they drop below 4 miles an hour, they get a warning. If you get 3 warnings, they get shot.
And then
dragged off.
Keanu Reeves shows up. He's like, "Dude, I can save you. Just keep going around the bus."
Yeah.
And then
Oh, yeah,
it's,
that was a
it's,
I bet he was
it's
pissed. I
different
bet,
Stephen
I
King
bet
book.
he was pissed about speed. He was like, I was going to do that. Like people moving in a bus.
All right, what can I do instead of a bus? You got to keep walking. There you go.
Yeah, this was written a long, long time ago.
Yes.
it's more likely Speed was based on this. It looks like a super.
Right. So all I can find is a bunch of rumors about GTA 6. ScreenRant.com says
All right,
Rockstar has
okay.
acquired a team behind popular GTA Online mods and dedicating a focus on expanding roleplay experiences in GTA 6's multiplayer. And then there's like a million websites with rumors. And then Hindustan Times had an article in March of 2024 that said, if you ask Rockstar Games about their approach for GTA 5 multiplayer, GTA 5?
Good
That must be a
Lord, how
typo.
old is this?
No, that must be a typo. There's no official confirmation yet, with the game's past performance signals a probable outcome that the next 2025 title, 2026, this was back in 2024, will include multiplayer features. So that's as definitive as they get on the Hindustan Times.
See, I told you.
There will be.
And then what could
multiplayer.
Rockstar do? Like all this speculation and shit.
Anyway.
Nobody's actually going to headline their article as they should, which would say, we don't know shit about GTA multiplayer.
Anyway, Jason continues. I think it would be badass. That's a game based on trying to hunt people down. They have only caught 3 of them, so lock your doors. So there's still 7 of
Hide your
these
kids,
guys on
hide
the
your
run.
wife.
7 of these guys are on the run. The Precinct game is out. I saw this. It's on my wish
Yeah,
list.
I did see that was out, and I was like, I ain't
Good
buying that
reviews,
shit.
but not great. I think
Yeah.
the Konami game Deliver at All Costs looks more fun with its characters, missions, and destructible everything. They should add a prisoner delivery mission to that game. I went to New Orleans once. The restaurants were excellent, but the nightlife and Mardi Gras seemed sketchy. You
Well, of course.
You get free beaded necklaces if you show your boobs,
Yeah,
but
you
I
do.
heard they do that every day in Wisconsin. Is that true?
In most places in America, you'll find someone.
If life is a sim, who's really controlling your bowels? Jamming on the B button, a random player, or your ex? I know it's just tacos, but people are curious. Music news. Mixes of A Lost World is about to release. Orbital, Mogwai, Paul Oakenfold, and a lot more doing it for The Cure. And another artist, if you don't mind twang, but enjoy songwriting through very different music, then The Cure, Stephen Wilson Jr. is on fire.
Speaking of Orbital, did you hear the song that they did with Tilda Swinton?
I can't say as I did.
It's a very strange song, but she's basically like giving you a guided meditation. It's a very interesting project.
They are
recommend
doing
people
quite
check
a
it
lot of
out.
stuff at the moment, Orbital.
They
They are
keep
touring
doing
at the
stuff.
moment.
I thought they were retiring or something.
No, are they balls? They're
crazy.
filling the boots trying to make some more cash.
That's that.
Anyway, show me your boobs. I need to check your hearts. Nothing like a veteran gamer live stream, Jason.
All right. Thank you, Jason Gallagher.
Jason.
Incomprehensible as always.
I don't know. We've had worse.
Well, of course we have, but it's like, I can't understand what to say. Life's a sim. Your ex is making you poop. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, no, it was a letter X. I think he's referring to Elon Musk. Don't know.
That's the thing. We have no way of knowing what the fuck he's talking about.
No, we don't. We have no idea. Right, on that note, we have got a speak pipe that we should have done last week, but obviously Duke wasn't here and we couldn't really get it stuff to work. So
Here comes the jingle.
Pipe, it's the way to leave a message.
Okay, now you had sent me one on May 1st called You Offered, I Answered. And I'm assuming you never played that.
I don't know. The one I've got is I believe I can kind of fly.
Yeah, I can believe
You
I
could
can
try-
kind of fly. Right, I got that.
Oh
but-
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was the one for the show last week where it was sound
These are
bites.
just
He sent
sound
you
clips.
Sound bites.
Okay.
So I don't know what he
Well,
sent you. Let me-
here's those sound. Narf.
Narf!
Yes, thank you for that. Here comes Zort.
Zord!
And then this is Troz.
Jaws!
What is Troz?
Well, that's
Zord!
in a mirror.
So there you go. There's some sound effects from TJ. Thanks, TJ. We appreciate
thanks,
you.
TJ.
Sorry I didn't play it
can't
last week.
hear
I
them.
hope you listened again this week. Yeah, and Stu can't hear him for some reason.
And I can't
so-
even hear him.
Now here's the question: can you hear the speak pipe?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Here it comes from Saint Diesel. It's speak pipe number 755. Those of you keeping track at home.
Hey, Veteran Gamers, Saint Diesel back again. I see that you're recording episode 800 on Saturday evening, so I thought I'd send you this little speak pipe. I have heard the contributions from Brian Branson on the speak pipes over the last few weeks, so I'm
Those are
going to
great.
have to up my speak pipe game, obviously. His effortless style and his deep intellectual insights into the human condition, obviously hard to compete with, but I'll give it a try. After my speak pipe last week about the current state of the video game landscape, it seems to have gotten even worse with layoffs at places like Polygon and Giant Bomb and rises in the prices of everything from video games to video game hardware and various other parts of the video game industry. It seems that things getting cheaper is just not going to happen from now on. But I have been searching for cheap games, and a couple of days I came across a game in CEX. It's a type of game I don't normally buy and play, but I thought, well, it's only £4, so I'll give it a try. So I'm going to give you a little quiz to see if you can guess by the end of the speak pipe.
Ooh.
And at the very end of the speak pipe, I'll give you the answer and the name of this speak pipe's another clue to it.
So the first clue is I believe I can kind of fly.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't think of any games that have come out recently that would be £4 now.
I'm gonna go out there, and I think it's a Just Cause game,
Yeah, maybe.
or a Ubisoft game where you have a wingsuit.
Yeah, it could be.
So one of the Far
right.
Cry games.
So maybe here comes some more hints, I hope.
It was released in 2016. It's a Ubisoft game,
Hey.
and it starts with someone walking up the side of a mountain.
That's got to be one of the Far Cry games.
That's a lot of games, to be fair, at this point. No, I don't think any Far Cry games start with.
What about Primal?
No, I haven't played Primal, so I don't know. But I do know that you
thing.
climb up the side of a mountain at the start of Immortals, Phoenix Rising.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of games do that just to show you the
definitely
climbing
fly
mechanic.
it.
Because
You're
technically
flying
you
now.
do it You do fly. I mean, you have, again, a glider. Like most games have gliders.
Did that
now,
come out
so,
in 2016? No, I think
I
it
have
was
no idea
later.
what year. No, I think it was later than that.
It was a lot later.
I think it
than
was
that.
later than that.
Yeah, it was.
So we got to keep thinking. But it is a Ubisoft game. You were right about that, Stu. Here comes some more clues, perhaps.
And I'll give you a few seconds to guess what it is. But
Oh, no, that's all the clues. Ubisoft 2016. What are you
I'm
thinking?
going to say Far Cry 4? Trying to think what came out in 2016.
Definitely don't climb
Go
up the
on.
side of the building at the start of that. You're in a
No, he
a
said. Did he
bus
say
at the start of
climbing up
that
a
game.
mountain? He said a mountain.
Yeah, I know, but you're not climbing up a mountain. You're riding in a bus. Well, no, you're right. Like there is the grappling hook.
Did you say you're riding in a bus?
No,
No,
I
he
said
you
that.
can- No,
On
he
the
said
speaker,
climbing
he said
up
you're
a
climbing up the
mountain.
side of a mountain, but there are grappling hooks and stuff.
Oh,
at
he
the start
could.
of
Oh
Far
no,
Cry
I was
4.
going to say it could be that the snowboarding thing, but that was later than 2016.
Steep.
So it's it's not that. It was like that was
No.
later.
So Chinny, when did Far Cry 4 come out?
It wasn't.
Is that 2016?
No, I'm sure it's Primal.
Okay, let's go with that then.
Let's go with
Can
Primal.
you fly in Primal? No, I don't think you can.
Did he have
Maybe
a
you could
wingsuit?
put like some sort of rudimentary wings, or you take some pterodactyl wings and like flap them.
Well, it can't be an Assassin's Creed game because that doesn't have any sort of flying mechanics,
You
does
have a
it?
glider or something. Well, Leonardo da Vinci at one point, you flying around.
A little bit.
Weren't you? I mean, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
but
I don't
that's
think it's
way
that, but
older. That's
it
way
is,
older.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Assassin's
But I'm
Creed
saying they
Brotherhood.
might have done something similar in a newer game. I don't know.
Yeah, Assassin's
All
Creed
right, let's just
2
say
is-
Primal and let's see what happens.
Well, I'm going Far Cry.
Right, Far Cry Primal. Here we go. Playing the last 7 seconds.
There we go.
But until next week, I'll just say,
He's already said it.
may you always walk on
What?
sounds.
What?
What?
All right, okay, I'm playing it again. Shush.
It starts with someone walking up the side of a mountain. And I'll give you a few seconds to guess what it is, but I'm sure you'll get it easily. But until next week,
I don't think he said it.
Oh, he's
always
trolled
walk
us.
on
Oh.
sounds. And the answer, steep.
Oh, it
Oh,
was steep.
I said
Oh,
steep.
snap.
It is.
You said
said
it
that.
wasn't steep.
I said I didn't. I thought that would come
You
out
said it's
later.
not steep. You said I will kill myself if it turns out to be steep.
No, I only said I
I'm
didn't
just
think it was
kidding.
it,
I'm
'cause I
just
thought it
kidding.
came
I'm
out
just
later.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I find Steep. I still have Steep installed. That's a fun game. So
Ah,
yeah,
Steve.
hooray for
Could
Steep.
have got that. God, is that old? Who knew?
Yeah.
I guess so. But if you want cheap
Wow.
games, people, go to the Epic Games Store. They're throwing free games every week. They got 2 new games for free. So that's your number one option. Every week I go there and I just get a game, even if I don't want to play it. I'm like, all right, I'll get this. It's
Give me
free.
the games.
Mm.
Give me the games.
All right, is that it? We doing speak pipes? We done?
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it. We're
Shout
done.
outs. Okay.
Shout out time.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
I guess I'll go first because
You go. Just go.
let's see. I wrote it down, I think. here on my thing. Shout outs. Nostalgia64. I don't remember why. Thank you, Nostalgia64. Whatever you did, or you know what you did. You know why I love you.
You know what's what.
I think that might be the person who tried to holler at me about New World Eternum. Also, shout out to Antonio. He's the man. I love playing Rocket League with you, buddy. And it's, yeah, your kid is very cute. Keep sending me pictures of him with this kid. Amar. I always love chatting to Amar, and he just sends me RoboCop clips. Look, here's the dude melting in RoboCop again. Like, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
You just sent it to me 3 days ago, but I'll watch it again. It's a classic
what's
moment.
not to love about that?
Yeah, what's not to
Exactly.
like,
There's
though?
no
I mean,
reason
come
not
on.
to watch it every time he sends it. Just there's other good movies too. Anyway, yeah, those are my shout outs.
Sweet.
There you go. Ginny.
Well, obviously, I'll shout out Sean.
Yeah.
For meeting Sean in real life.
Yep.
Which was good. Like that.
Yes, it was.
Sorry,
Yeah, we can tell with your
Have you forgotten how to
enthusiasm.
speak English? What are you
no,
doing?
no,
What's
sorry, I was
going
doing
on?
something at the same.
You having a stroke? You need us to get you an ambulance?
No,
It
thank you,
was
Sean. It was a
excellent.
pleasure. It would have been nice to like do something for longer, but yeah, never mind. It's just one of them. But I think he's gonna finish his vacation in Paris, so he's gonna go to Paris.
Yeah,
ballin'.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. So glad that
yes,
was
it
fun.
is. Oui, oui, c'est très bien.
And
Oui.
Actually, since you mentioned French, like when we were in Pennsylvania, we went to an art museum one day before the graduation ceremony, and I was walking around. This lady with her kid were talking French, and I don't know where Pennsylvania is in relation to Quebec, but you know, Quebec is that region in Canada where they speak French. So I said to her, I was like, "Je suis désolé, est-ce que vous êtes Québécois?" And she was like, "No, but blah, 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 blah." And like we had this conversation about, you know, the French language and all sorts of stuff. And she's like, "Oh, but you speak so well, and it's very impressive." And I was like, "Well, I just studied it for a few years." She's like, "That's great. I'm always so happy to meet people who speak French. And blah, blah, blah. This is my son. There's my husband." So anyway, that was fun.
And
Speak
you
French
knew,
in
you were
public.
lifelong friends.
Yeah.
That's right. We were
Boy,
And you meet up twice a
les
year.
bons amis.
You were handcuffed in a
La belle-
basement.
You can
One-
tell that French is the most beautiful language. All you got to do is listen to them count. Un, deux, trois, quatre. It's so beautiful.
That's right.
Montpellier ami. Is that right? Montpellier ami? My special friend.
Montpellier?
Is it Montpellier?
Mon ami spécial. That's how you would say.
Oh,
my
there you go.
special
We'll go with that.
friend. Okay.
Actually,
Stu, I think you're. Oh,
no, I was
Jenny,
gonna
any other
shout
shout-outs?
out the rest of the Patreon. So,
Yes.
shout out to Nigel Strutt, Jake Peterson, Robert Wilcox, Matt Nation, Christian,
Oh yeah.
Armand Palmer, Adam Birmingham, Declan McCluskey, Dan Fletcher, Sean Theo, Value, or Pope Baggins, I don't know how he wants to be called, Seth McNitt, Connor
Yay.
Searle. Yay. Thank you to all the
Yay.
patrons.
Give us some money!
The rest of you, give us some money. Those
Give us some
people, we
money.
appreciate your money.
We do. Thank you very much for that. I'm just
Yeah.
going to do the usual. Thank everyone who contributes to the show every week.
Yay.
So we've got Derek this week, obviously Jason Gallagher, Alex who just hates games. I don't know why he plays video games. In all honesty, Alex and John Collins, not Joan because I got told off for that. John Collins, TJ, David Thatcher. And a silent gamer. So everybody else. Oh, bloody hell.
And Saint
I've just
Diesel.
realised. And Saint Diesel. Next week, guys, I left David Thatcher because he sent us a character sound clip quiz, which we couldn't do because Duke wasn't here. So
we'll do it
have
next
to do
week
that
then.
next week. So I'm
Damn.
terribly
And this game
sorry,
I made
David.
7 years ago that we never finished. We're gonna finish
yeah.
that one of these days.
So we of course we really appreciate
Yes, we do.
everyone's contributions.
Not
I
enough
am
to do
so
it
sorry,
now, but
David.
we appreciated it a
Because I've only
moderate
just
amount.
realised we still didn't do it this week, so apologies.
We could
for
do it right
that.
now, but we're
We
not.
could do it now, but
But
we're not gonna.
we're
Yeah,
kind of
fuck
at the end of the show.
We're
It's,
at the
you
end of
know,
the
It's a
show. We've
short
already
show.
said this
It's an
show
hour
is over.
40.
It is a show.
Yeah, it's quite a short show for a short show
Okay.
for a change.
Sure.
So we will do
in the
it.
Shire.
We will do it next week. So I am so
Yes.
sorry about that.
You are assured that we will
I know,
surely
he's
do
probably,
it
he's probably
next
not
week.
listening anymore because he's probably taking umbrage that we haven't
These
done it.
fuckers. I hate them.
So apologies.
Yes,
Yeah.
we apologize. But it'll
I
make it more
apologize.
exciting to wait even more for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hang on, people. It's going to be worth it.
Oh, I've been waiting, just anticipating David Thatcher's quiz. There you go.
Lovely.
This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
All right, here we go. This is it. Everybody, we're done. We're done with the show's over.
We're done.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Great.
Great.
Right. So that's it. Another week done.
Yeah, another week, people.
I don't think I'm ever going to get my Zoom to work properly. I don't know what it is. I've tried every setting.
We're making it work.
I haven't uninstalled and reinstalled it.
So the one thing I told you to do last week, you didn't do.
Yeah, but nobody wants to do that. That's a pain in the ass. You know it's some checkbox somewhere.
I'm a busy man. I ain't got time for that shit.
It's a pain in the arse.
And why is it causing a big problem here? It's not. We just point to him when it's time to speak.
It'd be better.
Hang on. Wait. I'm playing a song, Stu. Hang on.
Yeah.
Just teach me why do we want to get rid of this? I can literally mute Stu.
Oh yeah, it's a good way of muting.
Hang on, I'm playing a song. I'm still playing a song.
Okay.
No, it's fine. I don't think you need to worry about it, Stu. I feel like it's worked out fine. We're making it work.
But it's one of them things.
I know you don't like to just leave it. Yes, I know. I'm the same way, dude.
It's annoying.
Yes.
It's just so annoying. Oh, bollocks. Oh, I see. It's bloody annoying. Why is it so annoying, though?
But it sounds to me like you got more important things to worry about, like making sure you take your meds every night at the same time.
I know, yeah. Well, oh, by the way,
do you have an alarm on your phone going off?
No,
that would be a way to remember.
Nah, I've got used to it. It's just it's particularly Sunday night.
Apparently not. Well, your wife has to come tell you to take your pills, like.
Well, she didn't do. I just remembered. I was just like, oh,
okay. Well, it's a good thing you remembered.
But yes, I had another echocardiogram on Friday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, huh?
And it is looking likely they're gonna shove an ICD inside me. So it's looking like they're gonna do it.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know really. I'd kind of come to, well, it was kind of funny because I'd come to the acceptance that I've got to have one. Okay, that they're going to stick one of them things inside me. And then I phoned up the medical secretary of the consultant because I hadn't received my letter. And I said, what's going on? I haven't had my letter. Oh, right, I have sent it out. Have you not got it yet? I'm like, no. Oh. Well, basically, the gist of it is, he's been to the MDT, which is like the sort of multidisciplinary team. I think that's what it's called. And then they have a huge discussion about all the patients. And, obviously it's a kind of a lot of money to put one of these in and decide whether it's suitable or not. Well, they've come back and said they wanted to do another echocardiogram first before they made the decision. So then it was
if you're quite worth it.
It was up in the air again. So I was just like, oh, God. So anyway, when I finally got the letter, read the letter, and basically what they've said is, if the echocardiogram shows my ejection fraction is less than 50%, and then they're going to go ahead and do it.
Gotcha.
But they're not 100% sure what happens if it's not, because I've still got a high ectopic burden. So that needs sorting out regardless of whether they put an ICD in or not. I still have to have the ablation. But what he basically said was, if he did the ablation first, there's a high chance he could make the ectopics worse because of where it's situated.
Interesting.
So he'd rather do the ICD first as a safety net,
right?
To do the ablation, so he can sort of do
gets wacky with the ablation
in case it goes a bit wacky. Right. And obviously, with it having a pacemaker built in, it'll regulate it, and do all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So I don't know.
Kind of scary, man.
I asked the guy. I said, "Was it under 50%?" And he went, "Eh." And you know how non-committal they are.
Of course.
They're just horrendous, these guys.
Yeah.
And I said, well, was it or wasn't it? Well, I'd probably say it looks like it is, but not by a lot. So I was like, right. So, I mean, is it really as binary as that? If it's like 50, it's over, it's 49.
Well, that's the thing. It's all, I mean, you know, it's all interpretation of data and like, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm waiting.
It's telling a
so I've
story.
Gotta wait now.
Yeah.
Gotta wait now and waiting again, yeah. And maybe
waiting is the
but, you know,
hardest part.
I'll get 4 weeks off work, so you know, it's not all bad.
All right.
While
Yeah,
it
it's not all bad.
heals.
Sure.
It heals.
Well,
And
good
you're
luck
not
with it.
allowed-
Keep us posted.
You've got to be careful because if you jar it or anything, you can dislodge the wires when it's relatively new inside.
It'd be
'Cause
funny
they
if they were
stick
like,
one-
no horror video games.
They stick
No
one
jump
wire
scares.
inside your heart and one side outside
Goodness.
of it. So one wire
You
actually
gotta
goes into
hold
a
off on
ventricle.
those horror games there. Shit.
Yeah,
Crazy.
wire goes into your ventricle. So they put one in your ventricle.
Play a lot of
and then
walking
one on the
simulators
outside.
though.
Yeah.
This game is
So-
really dull. Okay, play
Under
that.
local anaesthetic, by the way, as well. All that's done.
Oh, there's nails there.
Goodness.
Yeah, there's nails. They don't bother with no fucking.
Yeah, because
You know.
because putting people under is very, very dangerous.
Yeah, especially if you got a
Well,
heart.
I'm glad I got under when they did the colonoscopy. I ain't trying to be awake for that
Yeah.
shit.
So, but it doesn't take very long. I think it only takes
Seems like
about an
Mr.
hour.
Chin, you volunteered to be awake for that. Yes, I have.
But
hey, someone's going in my butt. I want to be ready for it.
Oh,
my
are you there?
auntie, who's actually already got one of these in because
Oh,
she
yeah.
had to have one put in.
Welcome to the family.
I know, yeah, it is kind of like that. She basically said, it was fine apart from the fact she couldn't wash her hair for 4 weeks. She said, you won't be able to put a t-shirt on. She said, or a jumper. You'll have to wear things.
Can't
with
wash your
buttons.
hair.
Can't wash your hair because you can't lift your arm up.
Oh.
So the
Well,
arm.
could somebody
that-
else
the
wash your
arm-
hair? Could you go to a
Yeah,
salon?
that's what.
and have
Well,
them do
no,
it?
Kate,
Okay.
Kate will have to wash it.
You
Won't
ain't
she?
gonna
I
pay
guess.
to get
Okay.
it washed. Are you mad?
Well, I don't know
Kate
how
will-
often you're
Kate
going to
will
wash your hair.
You ain't gonna
I
pay.
wash it
someone,
every
man.
day.
He
I
doesn't
wash
even.
my hair
He
every
doesn't
day.
even pay for someone to cut it.
No way, man. Actually, I do. I have to go to a
That's
proper
true.
hairdresser's now. Go to a proper
There you go.
hairdresser's.
See, there you go. You won't go to a salon. Have them
I have
wash
to have
it.
layers. I have to have layers in my hair.
You have to. I love
yeah,
the
so
have to.
layers. But yeah, you can't
Wow.
hold your arm. You can't hold your arm, so you can't put a t-shirt on. You can't put a jumper on. You gotta have button-up stuff. So
You have to do the
We're
show
just wearing
topless.
moo the whole week. Yeah, now we're talking.
4 weeks, man.
Wow,
4
wow.
weeks.
Yeah.
4
That
weeks.
sounds like a lot. One
So-
interesting month.
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see what they decide, whether they're going to go
Well, like
ahead.
I said,
I can't
good
see
luck
them
with it.
not
Keep us
doing, but
posted.
who knows?
Well.
Who knows?
Yeah.
And I'll have as the consultant described it, I'll have a shock box inside me.
Zzz, zzz.
Shock box. So hopefully it never shocks me. That's the main thing, that he never has to do that.
Sure. Hope so.
Because if he does, here's the thing: if I get a shock, I'm not allowed to drive for 6 months.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So they
Like,
take your license.
does that mean
off.
you're not allowed to be in a car or just driving?
No, I'm not allowed to drive it. I can be in it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just
gotcha.
not allowed to drive it in case I, have a shock and
Yeah.
then crash into someone else.
Right. Gotcha.
So
Well,
yeah. So
Hopefully that won't be an issue, but
hopefully
good luck with
not.
that either way.
But then,
Yeah.
like Danny said at work, it's better that than being dead. So
Well, exactly.
you know.
Mm.
Presumably, I mean, we don't really know what comes next. Hindus have one theory, Christians have another. Who knows what's
Yeah.
the truth?
Who knows?
All right, guys. I hope you have
Bye,
a good
guys.
week.
Same.
And we will catch you later.
Well-
Hold on. Am I here next week? I got a feeling I'm not. I don't know why.
I'm not available one particular week as well.
Hold on. No.
Oh,
We're on.
goodness. I'm coming up on summer break, so I'm here
Yeah,
every
yeah.
week.
I'm here next week, but not the week after.
Yeah, that's all right. Mine's the same weekend that I'm in Stratford upon Avon because we're only coming back. Oh no, I might be here. No, I will be. I wasn't going to be, but I am now. Actually, I'm telling a lie. Ignore me.
Okay.
Oh, you do my
I
heart in
do
there.
that a
I
lot
can't- I
anyway.
can't
Well,
take
we were
my
meant to come.
twist.
We were meant to come back on Monday because we were going to go and stop at Kay's sister's for a couple of nights at the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. But she's rebuffed us.
Good.
Oh my
She's going
goodness.
to some
Fuck off. We don't
cricket-
want you here.
Going some cricket do or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's like, "Ooh, you can't come here."
Can come here. Yeah. So I'm here next
Okay,
week.
so
but not
2
the week
weeks from
after.
now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to get a
2 weeks from
replacement
now.
for Chinny.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Mhm.